Double D?
Yeah, man. Well, turn it up, man.
Let's just go in and, like, kill all the orcs, right? They're the bad guys. Who gives a shit? We just hack and slash and we loot their dead bodies, right? Hack and slash, kill them all, you know, conquer the infidels.
Boy, that campaign sounds like a barrel of fun, doesn't it?
Are you just a dream?
Double D.
A dream to some.
A nightmare to others.
Somebody who's opening a refrigerator and leaning in, right, is the language of a woman. Somebody who's opening the refrigerator and being cut off halfway through that lean is the voice of like a mermaid or a siren, right?
Orcs are just like evil elves, right? And they were like made by like an evil god.
Honestly, guys like me can't leave soon enough.
You gotta put a little hot sauce on the taco, you know what I mean?
He is smart.
We want this dwarf to be the dwarfiest dwarf.
Right.
We want the elf to be the elfiest elf.
And just the dashiest dash of Tabasco.
Their voices need to carry across water.
I'm a creative. It's a huge drain, right? Because fans can be awful.
You're not in Transylvania anymore, Crystal. We don't talk vampire.
When you say white lives matter, they don't. White lives don't matter because white lives aren't a thing.
I disagree. I disagree, Gary.
Lutherville, Marina Del X, Otisburg. Otisburg?
Where's this monster? She's got her own place, man.
Otisburg?
It's a little bitty place.
Otisburg?
Okay, I just wipe it off. That's all. It's a little town.
Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
Great sandwich.
Thank you. I enjoyed having you here. You're a very good co-host.
Howdy. How is everybody doing? Rogan swooped in at the last minute. So he is getting set up right now. We're going to hear about his AC trouble. Are you almost ready over there, Rogan and Crazy Mouse? You're good to go. So without further ado,
Sun won't fail. He's everywhere. I'll make mincemeat out of you, mouse.
You can't kill what you can't catch.
Here are the boys.
I was cracking up last week thinking about people who might not know what a punt returner was. And in the comments, someone said, "I'd like to return this punt, please." And I was just cracking up at that.
Did you catch your breath now? Are you okay there, Rogan? Rogan, we need a stinger for you. We got Mouse's was easy. I don't know what kind of a stinger I can do for Rogan. Gosh.
I don't know, man. Today was the day. If I was jam, I would spread across all the bread today.
Antonio, hell yeah, it's Wednesday already. You thrown off because of the holiday?
Yeah. What's up with you guys? We are going to have a wonderful show today. We're going to talk a little bit about Black Aragorn. Oh my God. Yes. Wizards of the Coast has done it again. So we will find out what my two co-hosts think. Do a couple other things I wanted to run by you guys in the chat. And then we're going to bring in Paul from AGE Comics in just a little bit too. And you guys can take a look at his comic campaign, see if it's something you might like to support or not. I'm just here to help out, as they say. So I'm very much into the indie game and indie comics support scene. So, all right.
If anybody in the chat could help us out, do all three of us sound okay?
I bet you we sound magnificent, don't we?
Testing. Am I loud enough?
I think you're fine.
All right.
Yeah, I think you're fine. So what was this AC problem you had, Rogan?
I just had to tear apart the unit and clean it out. It wasn't properly addressed last year. That is my responsibility. Although I did put the responsibility on two young men who said, "Yeah, Dad, we took care of that," and didn't.
Will these boys be punished when Rogan goes home?
I love them without measure, but and I don't keep track of disappointments. I keep track of what the things that make me, make my heart go bang, But I got to tell you what, the past handful of days, I'm keeping track. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's because school's ending. I don't know, but yeah,
yeah, they may have mentally kind of checked out. That's apt to happen at the end of May over here.
Rogan's son had a mouse sighting the other day.
Oh yeah.
I was out working, and Rogan sends me a picture of myself on a dash.
That's
and
right.
I said, "Oh my gosh, if I never even saw you in the restaurant." And he's like, "Oh no, it was a sea bass."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Keeping tabs on Crazy Mouse.
That's right. That's right. No, I got to say that my sons absolutely, they're like, Friday nights, like, "You're gonna see them," I don't, like, "Oh yeah." Well, they're just excited when they get a chance to see you guys. He wanted to get up and say something, but he was with his date, so he took the picture. Goes,
and I was in and out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Goes, "I thought that was him. I was going to say hi, but I didn't, so I took the picture and sent it to you." I'm like, "You can't mistake the mouse."
Yeah, thank you.
You can't mistake the mouse.
Well, if those of you who watched, I hope you guys are keeping tabs of the live play. Well, those of you that are interested, I know it's not for everybody, but you'll know that we had a death in the family this past week, and I'm going to have to spoil it a little bit. So if you're watching the stream, you will find out who died, and it was unfortunately Syed Khan,
yes,
son of the Lion King, Rogan's character. Yeah, he died to a two-headed giant who brought the two-handed pain with a giant. I do like that figure, as Tor Locks pointed out. His club had an anvil strapped to the end of it to make it a hammer.
Yeah, it was impressive to see, and even more impressive watching my guy go down.
Yeah,
but also not just that. Shout out to Gavin, who gave a speech at the end.
Absolutely.
Really good.
I put most of that speech
in the beginning.
Intro. So if you want to see Gavin's speech, although we're all it's the usual. I'm not one of those DMs who's like suck it up, Buttercup.
Right.
Another character. Because we're creating a at this point a very long story. And I think each character has value. It just so happened that the one Rogan was playing had a nice arc, and as it so happened, his arc pretty much was completed, as he died. So if you watch it, it is pretty good. And we had everybody talking.
Yeah, it was kismet. It really was.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And I'm like, it's literally at the gravesite of of his fallen character. It's like, all right. And I'm going around. I'm like, as an NPC, Barada, like he gave his speech, and then I'm like, as DM, I'm like, okay, does anybody else have anything to say? And then Gavin just busts into this eloquent poem
from memory.
Yeah. So if you don't watch anything, you can at least just watch the first 3 minutes of the latest live play and see Gavin's poetry. If you had told me that Gavin was able to, at this point in his life to memorize a poem this long, I would have said, give me that. So it was beautiful. And I'm like, wow, I didn't even know where it was from, but he busted it out afterward.
Well, the whole moment for me is the character was, was emotional, my investment, and I saw it coming, and I can certainly, going and leading from the front, I know I'm going to get hit. So I know where this goes. But when Gavin dropped that, I'm like, I almost teared up.
Yeah, I think we were all like speechless.
It was unexpected.
It was very unexpected and very kind of him. Yeah, very kind of him.
To show you just how sometimes the dice decide. I mean, my wife, her character is kind of a frontline and so is Rogan, and kind of Gavin too. But it was my wife and Rogan's character who were at the forefront here, and I'm like, okay, they were both down, and I'm like, this could be bad, you know. But I just rolled a die 6. I said 1, 2, or 3, it's you, dear. 4, 5, or 6, it's Rogan, and it was a 4.
Right.
And then I rolled the damage, and it was just brutal. It was like 5d6,
and it would have killed Mrs. Double D. The hit.
She said, she said,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that would have killed me too.
Right.
Yeah.
But then the third strike you hit against too was Gavin.
Gavin, yeah.
And what did you roll?
All one.
I'm rolling 5d6 for damage. I'm rolling like all 5s or 6s against Rogan, and or you know, if it would have been my wife, it would have killed her too. And then he steps up, this giant, and attacks Gavin. 5d6. I roll 4 1s and like a 3 or something like that. It's like sometimes the dice, they just I don't know. So yeah, but what is going to happen is, just get it closer to you. You can turn your gain up a little bit from the silver dot.
So closer to the light. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, silver dot is at the end there, buddy. So yeah, just turn it up just a hair.
It's all the way to the silver dot.
Yeah, now turn it away from the silver dot.
Okay.
That's actually turning it up. Yeah.
Is that
So
better? Testing.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah. There we go.
All right.
So what's going to happen at the end of the stream? And don't let me forget this, Rogan. Rogan is going to roll the stats for his new character. He's going to roll the 3d6s 6 times for his new Castles and Crusades character, and you guys are going to watch. Did you bring your dice, Rogan? Or are you going to have
my dice?
Don't touch my dice.
Antonio said he was confused every time he was watching the live play, and you would say princess. He thought he was talking to his daughter, not about the princess character.
No.
They are one and the same.
They are one and the same. But I have never referred to my daughter as princess. No, she's
it's honey.
It's honey. Yep. She is my honey. So yeah. So could we do a roll call here, Crazy Mouse, and then we'll get into a little bit of news of the day. We'll talk about Black Aragorn.
Absolutely. I just want to give a quick shout out: Eric, Tora, Shadow, Antonio, Longshot, Nick, Draconic, Cal, Ryan, Jeff, Paul. Where's Panther?
I see Larangico.
Lamangelo.
It's Lamangelo. You mean lemon jello? No, Lamangelo. Draconic Dungeon Demi-urger. I almost said Demi-burger.
Demi-gorgon. Surly. I mean, there's a couple people that, if I missed you, I apologize, but there's some people we're looking for, and I'm not seeing them. Go wake them up, somebody.
Brian in the bunker. Hey, why worry about who's not here? Let's focus on who is here. Who was here? Festalon, our buddy. How you doing, buddy? He makes good shorts. Old school gamer, Festalon Greyhawk. Give him a subscribe if you would. Let's see anybody else? Our old buddy Cal.
Yeah,
the stalwart Cal. Ever faithful.
I like that word.
Stalwart.
Yeah, I like it.
Der truer Cal. Hitler used to call Heinrich Himmler Der truer Heinrich. The true Heinrich. Cal.
Heimlich.
People are like, what? Why is he going there? Oh my God. All right. I think it's about time we maybe looked at some news. All right, guys.
Aleki, what up? Just showed up.
Aleki. All right, guys. You knew we were going to talk about it. I just did a video. If you haven't watched that, I don't know. Give it a view if you can. But Wizards of the Coast is at it again. That's right. They have this penchant to do something very, very goon-like and heartless. And then they'll follow it up with some naked, like, virtue signaling to get back all of the lefties who they just lost. Now, folks like us, they've probably lost a long time ago. But they keep doing this dance. But I think they keep shedding more and more people every time they do it. So let's see what's going on here. Magic the Gathering debuted a Black Aragorn on Twitter. And it sparked a bitter online debate about the fictional character's race.
Aragorn is played by who in the movie?
Vigo. That's Vigo.
Before you get to the story, one little thing about Vigo. Do you know that he was at the Miracle on Ice game?
I know that from you. Yeah.
He was in school to be like an interpreter, and they needed more interpreters at this game. So,
oh, nice.
Vigo as a youngster,
yeah,
was at the Miracle on Ice game.
Do you believe in miracles? Garbage site Yahoo News. You can see all these pop-ups and everything, but we will fight our way through them. Magic the Gathering art for a Black Aragorn has Twitter users embroiled in a bitter debate over the fantasy character's race. The character design, part of the card game's new The Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth set, was tweeted by the brand on Monday. This is Magic the Gathering's Twitter account, and Aragorn gave it a new name and called it Andúril, Flame of the West, the sword.
So this is
Well,
just a card game, not like a movie or anything.
Yeah, this is Magic the Gathering. It's one of the carders. So there you see. Do you guys see Aragorn?
Mm-hmm.
I do see it.
It's a little different than Vigo.
Yeah, a little different. I mean,
all right.
The art is beautiful.
Oh yeah. Notwithstanding the art,
right?
It's fine. But the sword's a little much, I think, for I think with the way it's described.
Yeah.
Now look, this would be if they have the license. I don't understand why they can't just do like I'm sure the purists would be like, why are you doing it? But if they just created like other areas of the world, like these folks came over from another part of the world, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah. And I think most people would be like, well, all right, at least you're not rewriting established canon.
Right.
Tweet's been viewed by 8.5 million.
Jeff Hatch just said he looks like Hemendall, which I actually thought of as
yes.
A lot of people have been saying that. Yeah,
that was a good catch.
Yeah, Idris Elba, right?
Yeah.
They're like, some people were tagging Idris Elba on Twitter like, you should sue. They used your likeness on a Magic card.
I love him as an actor.
He was on The Office as the Office bad guy for a little bit.
Oh yeah,
towards the end, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I didn't see it. The debate ranges from arguments over how J.R.R. Tolkien described the character as having a pale, stern face to the author's European inspiration for Lord of the Rings to his comments on racism and apartheid.
Well, Wizards of the Coast is Bizarro World now, so when it says pale, stern face, it's quite the opposite.
I guess, yeah.
Anything.
How do you misinterpret that? And they think it's like, guess what? He can be against racism and apartheid, and he can also create essentially a Northern European myth, which is what he was trying to do.
Right.
And I mean, I hate to say this, Northern Europeans are white. It's just a fact. So that's what he was focusing on. He wasn't creating African myths where everybody would be black. And if they did create an African myth and tried to, whitewash a character, God help the person whoever does that.
This is the second show in a row that we've talked about Lord of the Rings.
What did we talk about last time?
The Ring of Invisibility.
Yes.
Entire show, Double D.
Right, yeah. Well, it kind of dovetailed into the invisibility issue, but yeah. Many are upset the character doesn't look like that.
Tune in next week. We're going to talk about Liv Tyler.
Yeah, that's right. Let's just keep it going. Thanks for reminding me why I quit this game. One Twitter user commented, thanks for leaving. Another wrote in response, well, yeah, you're going to get this. It's Twitter. Twitter is still a haven. They'd like to tell you that it's not the case, but, most of the leftists are still firmly on Twitter as much as they hate Uncle Elon. The sword looks amazing. The sword looks good for something else. I don't think it looks like the sword that he's supposed to be wielding.
It looks like a +3 sword of ogre slaying. You know,
Yes, it does. Yeah,
it doesn't look like the sword that was described in any of the books.
No,
the artist is wonderful, but that sword right there slays ogres.
Yeah, it's too frou-frou. Yeah, it's definitely what you'd find in a magic pile in a D&D game. So my view is it's inappropriate. It's not Aragorn, it's not Strider, it's somebody else. And if people don't stand up and say this is ridiculous, you can't do this, come on. They're just going to keep seeing how far they can go, how much. I was kind of wondering, and I'm wondering if on this current trend, if in 50 years, like they're going to start saying like, well, Abraham Lincoln was black, right? And I mean, you may laugh, but I'm sitting there thinking like, well, you can show people the truth in front of them and they'll just go, yeah, but because you're dealing with profoundly mentally ill people. So I think there will be a time, maybe even before I die, maybe even like 30 years from now, where they will start trying to say like verified historical figures that we know and we have like footage and pictures of were really black, and they'll just say like, oh no, that was a.
Did either of you guys see the movie Interstellar?
I did. Not. I did not.
That scene where Matthew McConaughey's character goes into the school, he's talking to the teacher because his daughter is brilliant.
Yeah.
And the teacher goes off about how NASA and going to the moon was all fabricated to, Soviet, blah, 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 to try to make them blow their money and destroy their economy. And Matthew McConaughey is beside himself because he was involved in the NASA.
Yeah.
No, we're involved in the process. Now we watched the movies. I've read the books, and now we're being told, no, we were wrong, scary as it is, I think there's some truth in what you might be saying. In the future, there's going to be a lot of things that we know is one thing, but I'm telling you what, all these, these psychos out there are just going to eventually break and chip away at the culture, creating their own bizarro culture, and they're not going to recognize it.
From that logic that you guys just went down, the people who know like Abraham Lincoln was a white guy will all be dead.
Yeah, well,
so he'll just become black. Because there'll be no one to debate.
That's what happens if you don't keep challenging this,
right?
And keep saying like,
because as time goes on, Abraham Lincoln will become less and less relevant, right? Yeah. As we move farther away from him, in time.
Yeah,
this is where too you kind of have to think, and it's hard getting normies to kind of think this way, but it is sort of the reason they do this is all thought out, in a playbook. It's like it's kind of like the Marxist playbook, this kind of not knowing what reality is. You can't figure out what's real and what's not real. So you tend to that's when you get driven into the arms of unsavory people. Jeff Hash, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, our old friend Jeff. My grandmother said, no matter what they tell you, Aragorn was black. That's right. Your grandmother is a wise woman, Jeff. Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy to think, but I was just kind of stewing on this, and I'm like, yeah, I can see them taking historical, figures and just putting this sheen on them. And just being like, well, yeah, I mean, that's the way he appeared in pictures, but he was really black. Oh, wait, what? Huh? Yeah, William Shea, yeah. Well, I mean, it's
Lincoln was a Republican.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Democrats were slave owners. Yeah, they quietly like to gloss over that fact, but yeah.
The William Shakespeare's works are better listened to in its native language of Klingon.
Klingon, yeah. Another thing I was thinking of too, and here's a damned if you do, damned if you don't thing, because the left is all about cultural appropriation. So if Tolkien had written, let's say he did write Aragorn as a black man, before all this happened, they would have tried to cancel him for cultural appropriation.
Yeah.
They would have seized on something he wrote about the character and said, like, oh my God, can you believe,
Right.
they said this about him, and how racist it is. That's cultural appropriation. So it's either, if he did what they wanted him to do and wrote him as black, they would have canceled him. So he did write him as white because that's what he was doing, and well, he's wrong either way, I guess.
Disney just came out with Little Mermaid again, and they made Ariel black.
Yes.
So is the Ariel character that walks around at Disney now getting replaced by, like, is this redheaded girl just gone now?
I would assume so. Yeah, it's Disney. Yeah.
Hey, someone, I don't know, Malachi commented, and I don't know, is Lincoln, was he the first Republican president? Is that true or not true?
I believe so. Yeah, because I think before that it was the Whig Party that was essentially had most of the same ideals, but I think the Whig Party kind of
Rogan's. Or I'm not sorry. I mean, you may be, but Gavin's really good at history. Except the time we needed him for a freaking trivia question, he was nowhere to be found.
Well, Kaz is here. Kaz can answer that. He's a historian as well. So it may not be his specialty, but he can probably figure it out pretty quick. I think Lincoln might have been the first Republican.
Yep, Malachi's doubling down. All right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah. And I think. Yeah, they love to say, like, well, hey, dummy, back then Republicans were Democrats and Democrats were Republicans. Blah, blah, blah.
Jacob Jones just made me laugh, and there it is.
Yeah,
that is true. White man can jump.
Yeah, all these people who are pretending to be outraged, and they're like, what's the matter? But I think I said to one of them on Twitter, like, well, something tells me it would be a little different, if we were trying to create Shaft as a redheaded,
starring Danny Bonaducci.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Jufro and everything. Yeah,
I got a shout out to in regards to Wizards. Hey, Wizards, if you're listening, if you truly want to change our culture and you want to do it the right way, don't do it so abruptly. Do it in a sly fashion. Slide it in there a little bit here, a little bit there. Be consistent, but not right in our faces. Obviously, you want to change the culture. What to what end? I don't have a freaking clue. Obviously, it's not going to go anywhere nicely, but a little bit at a time. You're slapping us in the face like a fish isn't working.
Well, nothing's ever fast enough for these people. It really isn't. So yeah, they as Queen said, I want it all, and I want it now.
Off camera, Double D made a Queen reference as well. So we're doubling up on everything today.
Yeah, Rogan was late coming in, and I looked at, I got the, it's showtime alert, and I looked at Crazy Mouse, and I said, well, in the words of Freddie Mercury, the show must go on. So, all right, one other quick one here. The printers can't handle Wizards of the Coast's 1 D&D print runs. One of the reasons why the 3 new core rulebooks next year for the don't call it a new edition, so whatever it is, will not be released together is because D&D is such a juggernaut that the printers can't actually handle the size of the print runs. Jeremy Crawford told Polygon, our print runs are pretty darn big, and printers are telling us you can't give us these 3 books at the same time. And Chris Perkins added that the print runs we're talking about are massive. That's been not only true of the core books, but also Tasha's Cauldron. Oh, good. Are you kidding me? It's what we call a high-end problem. Well,
all the behind-the-scenes stuff we don't need to know. Just fix it.
Yeah.
No, seriously, we don't need to know the you're having print issues. And double down and do your due diligence. But we don't need to hear about it. Just
get Leo from Catch Me If You Can. Remember, he was working that printer like a motherfucker over in France.
Yeah.
There ain't no print issues. I've seen it happen in real life.
Switch over from checks to rule books, Leo. It's a much bigger.
That should happen. Jiminy Christmas. Tired of hearing about all the problems. Give me a fucking solution.
Yeah.
Jeez, these people. What the hell?
Are you an American or Americant?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
And I won't show it, but we've talked about Tales of the Valiant, Cobalt Press's new game that they're actually funding through Kickstarter, which is a little cheesy. I mean, they're already an established company, but they want their money up front from their fans. So I guess if they're willing to give it to them, hi Patrick. They are doing pretty good, like 800,000 on Tales of the Valiant. I think first week, maybe. I think they got like 3 weeks to go. So, that'll be that's going to be a couple million at least.
Patrick's got a mouse dropping. I'll put it up there for you guys.
Dumping the oh wow!
No, they can't do that.
Yeah, of course they would. Why wouldn't they?
What about
well, that's not there. They can't. That's proprietary.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they can do the drow. They just can't do.
What about the generic form? His name is Zitz something or another.
This is the
Quizzle, the purple freak from our game that Gavin played.
He had white hair.
Whatever.
He's like the Billy Carter to Drizzt. He's the embarrassing brother who keeps getting into.
Got a bit of a gut. He got a sore, but he's got a drink.
I got grizzed beer here, Drizzt. Come on, help me out. It's a new brand. Can't you help a brother out? All right, we have had someone pop in. Oh my gosh!
Get him from the green room.
From the green room. This will be appropriate and a real callback to some of you guys. See if anybody can get it up from the depths. 30 stories high, green with fire. Da, 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 da. Godzilla. Godzuki too. How are you doing, Paul?
Hey,
Byrd,
Paul.
Yes, AGE Comics. How you doing, buddy?
Hi. Thanks for having me on.
Paul, welcome.
Welcome to the lair.
Yep.
I don't
Paul,
think I've ever
you are a
before.
comic producer, correct?
Yes, I am.
Double D, before you go any further, can you switch me to the bottom and put Paul on top?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, we don't want you to get
there
covered.
you go. Yeah, because when I put up a comment, we're gonna miss your beautiful mug.
No, because our guests are supposed to be on top.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's right.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely, wouldn't have it any other way.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, Paul.
Yeah, so I'm an indie comic writer and letterer. I've been doing it for about 2.5 years now. It's been fascinating getting into this whole world. I kind of stepped away from a lot of hobbies for a lot of years. I had a lot of kids, so I got really busy. And
what do you mean by a lot?
6.
6. Whoa!
Yes. So
you're a brave man. You're a brave man.
I don't try to oversell when I say a lot. I really I kind of, they're getting a little older now, so I've been able to get back into some hobbies I had to leave behind for a little bit, and one of them was comics. So when everyone went home for the pandemic, everybody had some free time, and I thought, well, I should do something creative. So
excellent. Now, did you were you kind of following like Comicsgate and all that while you were home?
I found them actually while I was home. Interesting enough, I found Aaron Lopresti first of all people, if you know who that is.
Oh yeah. From Ethan's show for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
So I saw people dogpile on him when he released his comic. They said, he was canceled and he was a terrible person. And I was like, what is this? And I saw his comic. I was like, well, that looks fascinating.
Like the nicest guy in the world.
He is. So I immediately bought his book just to see what it was all about. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of fell down the rabbit hole, of this indie comic scene. And Comicsgate and Iron Age and all of this. So
So this was all an unintended consequence of the pandemic?
Kinda, yeah. It gave me some free time. I was sitting here. Actually, somebody mentioned my room is very bare. This was my room I taught out of, so I couldn't have any decorations because I didn't want to say anything to any students or anything. And one day my wife came in. She's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I think I'm writing something. I think I'm gonna write a comic book." And she looks at me and just deadpan. I've been waiting. She didn't even miss a beat. Totally on board with it. So,
She's a keeper. Wow, that is great support.
That is cool.
Right?
Smokes.
So yeah, so I kind of just threw myself into it, and this is it right here, Fall of Man.
Yep.
So
now this is Fall of Man 2 that you are currently funding, and you have already done Fall of Man 1, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Tell us a little bit about what Fall of Man is all about.
So Fall of Man is a world. It's about 90 years in the future. The world fell apart. People got superpowers, and they thought it couldn't get any worse. And then all of a sudden, giant kaiju rise out of the ground and just destroy the last of society. So you've got these. We're turning the Dark Ages. All technology is gone. That's kind of where I bring in some of the kind of fantasy elements into the comic. I just got rid of the old world, and now it's just giant monsters. Facing off against these superheroes. Well, they have superpowers. I wouldn't call them superheroes.
Right.
Trying to survive. Yeah, every so often a telepath will come along and they can actually control the kaiju. So you've got wild kaiju, but you've also got controlled kaiju. And so they kind of rally around these guys and form tribes and try to survive the wasteland.
Who did your artwork?
His name is Ben Worrell. I found him on Facebook. I just reached out to him and said, "Hey, I love your art. Are you free?" And he said, "Yep." And so he did issue 1 and 2. Actually, the creative team is the same for 1 and 2. Nothing changed. So
nice. And this is pretty much done, I think you said, correct?
Yes.
Number 2.
So
so not much risk for backing this.
No. Yep. 1, I delivered right on time. Well, okay, I delivered like 2 days late on my first campaign because of printer issues. But
printer issues. What the hell, man?
You guys,
Theo,
I don't think you guys understand. Like maybe because you're not into like the whole indie comic scene. 2 days late is so funny because things happen and there are books that are literally like 2 years late. And people are like, things happen.
Yes, yeah, it could be a year or 2 late, but no, I made sure that the first book was completely done before I crowdfunded, so that I'd have something to hand over. On the night my campaign closed, I sent out the digital edition to everybody so they could read it. I did a really poor decision. I funded between Thanksgiving and Christmas, so it was a terrible time to fund. But everybody had a Christmas present waiting for them in their email, So
live and learn, right?
Yep. But the second one, the art, the line art and inking is completely done. My colorist is finishing up the last pages, and then I just have a couple pages to letter. So it will be completely done by June 26th when we close as well. So and now I know a little more about printing on the backside, so it might even be a little bit early.
So number 2 could be coming early.
Might be a little early. Yep.
Okay.
So it's slated to be sent out in August, well, by the end of August. So hopefully it'll be a couple weeks early.
Awesome.
I'm digging this artwork. I think you got a pretty good artist for just kind of finding on Facebook.
Yes.
I like in the very top clip you had there was like a rogue looking character looking out the side of his eye. That's what caught my eye. It was like maybe one of the very first pictures right there.
Right there, yeah.
Yes.
I like that guy. Yep.
So this is a brand new tribe you're going to meet. It's an entire flying tribe that follows a flying kaiju, and you don't know if they're good or bad yet. But they're going to be the main people you meet in the second book.
Sweet.
Yep.
What were some of your influences for this? Did you watch and I'm assuming at least one person got that reference when I introduced you. That was from the Godzilla cartoon from way back in the early 80s. Did stuff like that influence you?
Yeah, I've always enjoyed giant kaiju movies. I remember I remember Godzilla from a kid, but really the first big kaiju movie that I watched was actually Mothra 3. It was on Sci-Fi Channel at like 2 a.m, and I turned that on and I was like, "What is?" It was so weird, but it was so like captivating. And so yeah, it kind of kicked off my love for big monsters. So I'll watch anything with big monsters in it. But then I also, growing up, read a lot of X-Men comic books, and so that's kind of where the superhero element comes from. And while I was writing this book, I was thinking how cool it'd be to have giant monsters, but in almost every movie, show, whatever that has to do with giant monsters, the people really don't matter at the end of the day. Whether it's giant kaiju like a Godzilla movie, or whether it's like Transformers, really they're just a side story. What would happen if people could actually play a role? What if they could actually like fight the monsters? And that's where this idea was born, to bring these guys in with these powers.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. I actually did back this last night. I picked up 1 and 2. So
thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, this looks pretty good. I must say.
I'll tell you what I'm impressed with, and it's going to be something that no one's thinking of. You got 6 kids, and I can't hear a peep. Your wife's doing a good job.
My oldest is babysitting at the moment while my wife's out picking a couple up from baseball. So
goodness gracious.
I told them, I said, hey, you can watch TV, you can just be good, and they're kind of used to this now. So
that is cool. That is really cool.
So what is kind of like I know you have a bunch of reward tiers. If they just kind of want to get the basic,
so
what would be the best?
Yeah, the main book comes. There's 2 covers. If you go one more down, right there's cover A, which you saw up top, and it's a 32-page book, fully colored. And then the one below it is cover B. I have 2 covers to choose from. This one is the same guy who did the alternate cover from the last campaign, and it's a wraparound. So you get kind of superhero vibe with this one. And then the one before it is kind of the kaiju one. And then I've also got, if you go down a big featured tier, it's got everything. Well, actually, that one maybe is a good one to go up to the $24 one. That's the ketchup tier right there. So you can choose.
That's the one I got, actually.
Yep. So you can choose which cover you want. You can get the A or B, and then you get the second printing of number 1 for those who missed it. And then if you go down just a little bit, there's a $50 tier, which has everything right there. Yep. So that comes with both covers of the book, a black and white edition, a script book, a prequel novel, and 3 art prints.
Damn.
Plus whatever stretch goals we get.
It's a lot of value. Prequel novel.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yep. So the novella is about 130 pages, and it actually covers post when they get their superpowers, before the monsters rise, to kind of world build additionally what it was like then. The script book, I've actually got the first edition from number 1 script book, so you can kind of see it here. And what it is, it's my literal script. You can see here that I sent to the author. And then over here are the thumbnails of what we saw. So it's kind of like behind the scenes for you to see.
Oh, wow.
So you can kind of get a closer look at what we had going on.
And you get all that for the $50.
Yep.
Well, how do you get to this place? Where's what Kickstarter is it on?
So this is actually Fund My Comic. This is actually a new website.
Link is in the description, by the way, guys.
Yep.
It's so just look at the description of the of this video, and you'll see it. There's a direct link to it.
Yeah, and it's scrolling at the bottom of our screen right now.
Yep.
Fundmycomic.com.
Yep. So I've backed both on Kickstarter and Indiegogo. I know in indie comics there's kind of like pick your tribe or whatever. I've never really been big into that, but I want to support Luke Stone because he's creating this new thing, this new option, and he's really, really helpful. The support has been great. It's also the cheapest platform to fund on, so for a creator. So
it went smooth. I mean, I of course didn't think twice. I'm like, oh yeah, looks cool, But I was wondering, like, because I know this is relatively new, and people are trying to find alternatives even now. It used to be Indiegogo was like, oh well, they're the Kickstarter alternative, because let's face it, Kickstarter is a little they are very left of center. Let us just say
they make choices that not everybody agrees with.
Yeah. But even Indiegogo now, it's like you hear all these established like comic skaters are like, yeah, my project is shadow banned, and it's like, but I'm gonna do a new campaign on Indiegogo, and it's like, well, all right, they're not doing you many favors.
I was fortunate enough not to get shadow banned, but my campaign was live when it started happening. It was kind of just cascading, and I knew of 10 to 15 campaigns that got shadow banned, and I was like, I don't want to take a chance with number 2. I'm just gonna go somewhere where someone will let me be alone and try to fund. So
exactly.
Yep.
Do you do any role playing? Have you ever played like D&D?
Very little, a little bit. I have a friend who's really into it, and he keeps inviting me. And well, with 6 kids, you can only have so much time.
I was gonna say, yeah, you got your hands.
My oldest though, my 13-year-old daughter, she's been getting into it. She has some friends she meets down at a community center downtown, and they all play together, and that's been kind of fun to hear, like secondhand, being like, Oh, I should, yeah. So
That's actually, I know I played when I was younger, but then after that huge gap, all my friends were playing, and I used to just come on Sunday night just to watch. And then there was like a natural break of an edition and a new edition that was coming out, and that's when I hopped right in with Double D. And Rogan wasn't there yet, but Gavin was there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know about Ripa's comment. Ripa's doing his own thing. I think he has Ripa's got his own site. He's essentially developed his own infrastructure. He did it the right way. Of course, he had a massive following. So yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was so funny when he said he was worried about making his investment back, and I was like, "There's going to be no issue with that at all."
Yeah, it's $5 million or whatever. The
Yeah.
dude is. I love Ripa. Yeah, he's definitely one of us. All right, well, there you go, guys. I would just say, I'm not going to say go buy it, but at least check it out.
Give it a peek.
Help small comic producers like this wonderful man, Paul.
I tell you what, Paul, I'm on right now, and I am.
Oh yeah, he is. He is putting his money where his mouth is.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah,
I really do appreciate it.
Comic book collector since I was a kid.
Yeah, Rogan is actually.
Rogan's absolutely.
Yeah.
This show today, like Paul and Rogan are long lost friends.
Well, you went on about about Godzilla back when you were younger, then the X-Men. I'm like, dude's stealing my life. When my first, I seen Godzilla and the Smog Monster when I was real little. My uncle took me there, and I was blown away, away. And
I remember the late night movies like Houlihan and Big Chuck, or Big Chuck and Little John, I guess it was around here. Coming out of Cleveland, and they would always show like all the old Godzilla movies, back in the late 70s, early 80s. And of course, Mystery Science Theater. They did the Gamera movies and a couple of Godzilla movies that they actually weren't allowed to show. But
yeah,
wife is a comic nerd. This is Nick. Ordered 2, one for they're cool.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, these are folks that really appreciate it, and God, these rather than waste money on Wizards of the Coast and all that. I mean, this is something, I don't know. You use it for inspiration. If you guys run superhero campaigns, I know we did for a little while. We had back in the day, we actually had a really good superhero
Mutants and
campaign.
Masterminds.
Yeah, way back.
Yep,
way back in the day.
I like that campaign.
It was, yeah. I mean, it was all about the characters. That's as any good superhero thing is. It's all about the interplay between the characters and kind of what goes on while they're sitting around. Of course, it's fun to go fight things, but all the little rivalries that developed. So we had a fun time with that one.
In regards to the comics, I stopped collecting a while ago. For obvious reasons. There just wasn't things really worth buying, or
right.
Yes.
Life happens. I had kids, bought a house, etc. But we've talked about comics, especially a lot lately, the past handful of years, and just I think that baffles me about all the changes and they kind of going to crap. It's really never wrote a comic, but reading comic books all my life, I think that if you just write a good story, just write a good story with no agenda,
Yes.
And
people are craving that. Just like in role playing games, that's all they're craving is not they don't want a right slanted, whatever.
Yeah.
They just want things to go back to where they were, 10, 15 years ago.
I have a handful of my favorite comics. Honestly, the stories were fantastic and the art was very marginal, and I love them. Just a good story, and throw in some good art, and just people. I think people would buy it. They should. I don't know. I would.
Yeah.
Paul, what's your? Whoa! Panther showed up, and he showed up big.
Holy cow!
50. Panther, what are you doing, buddy? Jeez. Of course, it's Australian. Is this like
8 cents?
Like $8,
yeah. I am sure it is quite a bit of money. Thank you so much, our old friend Panther. Hi, all. Can't stay. Over 18 months ago, I quit my teaching career and started reskilling into IT. Yesterday, I received my first pay slip. Congratulations.
Yeah, congrats, man. That's awesome.
Yep. Thank you for the healthy dose of escapism during a very stressful and difficult time. Love you guys in the chat. Well,
Thank
honestly,
you.
That makes us feel Really good.
Thank you so much.
I can guarantee you Crazy Mouse is going to talk about this after.
Absolutely.
He's going to go upstairs and be like, can you believe Panther gave us 50? It's like, and he'd be, I think he's going to be more excited. Like, we helped him during a difficult time.
Yep.
We love you, Panther. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, it's, I was
going to ask Paul a question. What's the end game? Like, how many like comics do you see in this series to tell your story?
So the first arc is 6 issues, which I've already written, and I've got my artist starting to work on issue 3 already. So that'll hopefully come out at the end of the year, and then I'll do 3 campaigns next year to finish the first arc. And I've mapped out the first 4 arcs. So as long as you guys like this and you keep reading, I'm going to keep making them.
Awesome.
But
Absolutely.
I'm not going to retcon anything. I'm not going to bring people back from the dead. These guys are going to age. Like, there's going to be permanent changes, and it's just going to keep moving forward. So
awesome.
I think that's what Ripa's doing with his too, kind of building a new mythos. And I'm excited for you.
I saw somebody in the chat, they mentioned something, the last book they had read was Invincible or something. And that's one of the few Western comics I can think of where people actually age and things change and things stay permanent.
Yeah.
And that's just, it was refreshing to read that. So
I think there's a market for that. You know, people get tired of, there you go. Right on Panther. You look at like The Simpsons, just like keeps going. It's like it's almost an embarrassment now. It's like they have to keep redoing the backstories of like Marge and Homer. It's like, wait a minute, I watched an episode. 90s. Yeah, it's like I watched one in the in the 90s, and they were in college in the 60s, and now it's like you got to know when to move on. So yeah, I'm glad you don't consider your characters too precious to age and do things too.
And and it's not a guarantee they'll make it either. So there's no like protected character necessarily. So
cool.
That's awesome.
Nice.
All right. Well, listen, everybody, as I said, if you're interested, take a look, and if you like what you see, go ahead and help Paul realize his dream. It sounds like this is there's no risk to this one, and he's already writing and doing the next one. So it sounds like it's a pretty good investment. So
I'm shooting $50 this way right now, plus shipping.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Rogan
Seriously,
going in hard. Yeah,
it's great to I still love comics, man, and it's just that the big companies are just crap.
Yeah,
you can't. I remember going the last ones I remember getting. Maybe were like some Hellboy, stuff that hadn't gone completely bad, and then it's just then you get in the habit of like just not going to the shop anymore, and it's like, well, Then that's when I found Comicsgate and Ethan and all those guys, and I'm like, well, you know what, I'm going to give these guys my money. So
because they care about the customer.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why and our friend Aaron at Immortal Rising Comics, who I also backed his too. He kind of is put together a nice little Twitter group. He's like, hey, I'm just throwing together some people in the fantasy sci-fi comic. We're all we're in this realm, we're all kind of fighting the same battle to get back to normalcy in one way or the other. So, that's kind of where I came across Paul, and I'm like, hey, why don't you just come on for a few minutes and let's talk. So I'm glad I was able to get you on here and at least get you a couple of sales. And I know
I really appreciate every single one.
Oh, absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, everyone go check out that website.
Yep. Take a look at Paul's campaign. I'm going to let you go now, Paul, so you can get back to being a father of your 6 kids. And,
I'll go round them up.
Shout out to that 13-year-old who took care of him. I never heard a peep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'll tell her she did a good job. Thank you.
All right, take care, Paul.
Thank you.
Yep.
That dude's cool.
Right. Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah, I had heard some good things about him. They're like, oh, Paul, Paul's a good dude. And you can kind of picture yourself, even if it's like comics or even like OSR, like, writing, it's just like you get this thing like, hey, you know what? I got an idea. Nowadays, the barrier is kind of a little low. I mean, you can go out and you can find artists. You can find printers and places to sell your things.
Something like that. Derek Mouse might like something like that.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Introduce him to that.
I know it's only May, tomorrow's June, but to me, I got to start thinking about Christmas is right around the corner, like,
yeah.
And by then it sounds like he might have 3 books out. Right.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, you can. He's smart. He'll always have a catch up tier. Like, okay, you can always kind of catch up on what's going on.
Right.
So.
That is cool.
Nice guy.
Yep.
I like them.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Unsung hero, 13-year-old that was in charge of
unsung hero having 6 kids. Oh my gosh.
All right. Should we give the guys in the chat some fresh meat? Do you think it's fresh meat time, guys?
Fresh fish.
That's
like in Shawshank.
How about instead of that, how about we give him some fresh taco?
We got to put a little hot sauce on the taco. You know what I mean?
I'll run. Everyone check out. I'm gonna have that go away.
Yeah.
Fundmycomic.com. Help him out.
Yep.
Good guy.
Yep. Good guy. So take a look. If you like it, you like it. If you don't and want to pass, that's okay too. But yeah.
But it's out there.
If it looks like something you might like, give it a shot. So yeah. I don't know what to say. I haven't previewed this one. This is going solely on the title.
Hey, maybe he's going to teach us how to cut someone's femur artery today or something like that.
I'm getting some, and I think it's coming from the right place. People are like, Double D, don't mess with Garibay. like he's a I don't know. I
already noticed, number one, different camera angle. Number two, it's daytime.
Yeah. But he's I don't know. You can't forget about this guy. Some of the shots that he's taken. Now look, he takes shots at the OSR all the time. Okay. And I understand he's only got a limited reach, but I don't think by us looking at this we're helping him in any way. He's still getting not many views on his stuff, and he's entertaining in a stupid way.
And I have to say, he's a contemporary of
yeah.
Unlike him, though, I deliver the food I pick up.
That's right. Yeah.
You do.
I do.
Yes,
and
yeah.
I was thinking about him. Remember that scene in European Vacation when Chevy Chase got on, when Clark Griswold got on the roundabout and he couldn't get out? And he just kept going in circles for hours.
Parliament, Big Ben.
I just picture that Scott keeps driving around that Walgreens or CVS or McDonald's like over and over and over again.
Yeah. So any of you who are worried about it, look, my audience definitely wants to see a little bit more Scott. I have told them too, like, hey guys, we should probably not do this all the time. It's going to get very, very.
We gave him a week off last week.
Yeah, we'll give him, who knows? Maybe we'll do 2 in a row and then a week off or whatever. But
well, let's not commit to Double D. Let's not commit to that. He keeps giving us content.
Exactly. Yeah. Seriously. It's like I got a
hey, this guy keeps scoring touchdowns. Let's take him out of the game.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like
he's the man with multiple personalities.
As the robber barons, used to say, I got a railroad to run here. So and the people are saying Garibay, like Maximus. Garibay. They scream it.
Maximus, that character Oliver Reed you just mentioned, every time we're playing in a campaign or any game, I always try to put a real life actor to who's playing our character.
Mm-hmm.
And when my character Calvin became older, that's the guy that played
the Oliver Reed in Gladiator.
In Gladiator.
I thought that was cool. All right, shall we go in? So let me go back here. Because the title of this is what got it. I'm going by the title. This could be a dud. What we seek defines us. Dungeons and Dragons and the powerful lessons from Disney's Jungle Cruise. So, all right.
Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons and Dragons, and we are specifically going to talk about
something different. It's all he talks about.
The key item in a quest in your Dungeons and Dragons campaign and how important it is and how it be structured, and what the lesson we should learn is for creating the right narrative, the correct narrative around the key item in a quest.
Don't edit that out. I don't. I don't edit.
It's like, oh my god, my lid's not on. I don't know why he's still got some hair there. I don't know why he's.
Someone mentioned that he might have just came from a haircut. Was it Malik? Who said it? I put it up there real quick.
I think I liked him better with the bedhead.
Brian James. I'm going to give proper credit. Brian James, haircut day.
Yeah, it might be.
Now he's not showing it
And
off.
what the lesson we should learn is for creating the right narrative, the correct narrative around the key item in a quest, right? Now you're saying, wait, Scott, why do you keep saying key narrative in a quest? Well, what I really mean is a lot of people will use the term MacGuffin. That is it is a wrong word. It should not be used.
Alfred Hitchcock was wrong.
I know more.
But I'm getting off track here. Let me tell you what the focus of this video is. There is a lesson in Disney's live action film Jungle Cruise, which is brilliant and is a perfect way to understand the key.
Is that the Rock? Yeah.
Jungle Cruise. I think. Yeah.
I think that was the Rock.
Who's the female lead? Probably Mila Kuno. I don't know. The girl from that 70s. I don't know. She's in everything.
Key item in your quest, in the quests that are in the key item in your campaign quest in Dungeons and Dragons. It's really next level brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant, and it really should be paid very close attention to. All right, so let's go ahead and talk this through. So, yeah, it's really quite fascinating.
He's fumbling for his words. Let's talk it through. It's very fascinating if you think about it. He's like kicking himself, like, oh, come on, Scott. He could just edit this.
He could just deliver that freaking DoorDash he just picked up.
Yep.
Oh, he's not done with the prize.
So where do you land with this, right? So let's talk about the
like, is he? Is this the Matrix? Is he glitching?
I think so. He's
holy moly!
It's like Max Headroom. Hello.
And if anyone remembers Max Headroom,
Muppet says this is the view from the hostage in the passenger seat.
Yeah, there's somebody.
True story.
He had the hat like on their head. It's like, let me take that. Let me take that off of you.
The live action Disney cruise movie, live action Disney movie, Jungle Cruise, which is exactly like Pirates of the Caribbean. It is a live action Disney movie made to highlight the exciting parts, the cool narrative.
Have a good one, Will.
Goodbye, Will.
The catalyst moments of Disney's rides, their theme park rides. So this is a movie based off of a theme park ride, and it has a brilliant, beautiful example of how to manage the key item in your Dungeons and Dragons campaign quest. So first of all, let's talk about the word MacGuffin. All right, MacGuffin is a new special kind of word. It's a
no, it's not.
Double D.
Alfred Hitchcock.
Derry has a question for you.
Asking for a friend, since this is YouTube. Is there limits to expression in chat, aside from trying to not cuss? There may be. You can have like some banned words, and I don't have many, but I just threw some in there in case any troublemakers came in to like say like, aha, see, Double D's chat is full of those bad guys from Germany, and they're racists. So yeah, I think you can swear a little bit. Make it tasteful swearing. If you can.
Don't go Andrew Dice Clay up on this.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll do something like hold it, or I don't think I have anything set to hold for.
Copenhagen says there's no limits to bad grammar.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's right.
That is true.
Check spelling and punctuation.
Viper word, okay? Basically, every time you hear the word MacGuffin, you should feel like fangs sinking into your hand, and you're like, "Whoa! Did you just say MacGuffin?" Right? Because you need to hear it very clearly. Every single person.
For those of you that don't know, like MacGuffin is like in the movie The Maltese Falcon, that's the MacGuffin. Or in Pulp Fiction, what's in the briefcase.
Mm-hmm.
That's the MacGuffin. It's, you know, kind of what everybody's after, essentially. But it's also not terribly important either. In other words, we never find out what it is in like Pulp Fiction. You know, what this super thing, you know, does. It's just the fact that people are after it.
Right.
So you just call it a MacGuffin.
Who uses the word MacGuffin specifically within a sentence, and they're using it for its traditional definition, not to warn you about it, is a fool, a ridiculous fool who you can ignore every word they say. You will encounter.
Got the anger in this guy.
So they don't know the definition.
Jeff thinks he's being condescending to us.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, yeah. Oh, he obviously is. He's, you know.
What were you saying, Rogan?
Well, I'm just trying to soak in the unreality
yes.
of this
of
this person right here. I'm not going to call him a man. I don't know what he is. I'm just trying to soak it in.
Just the seething anger. It always like erupts. You know, he's always got that scene like when Bilbo was in front of the ring, and it's like, you know, and he like lurches for it. There's always at least one or two times when he's talking about like the OSR or Ginny or Bob.
So at what point, like when he shows that face as often as he does, what point is he actually the creature and not him? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
hey, he's a Christian. He's a born again Christian.
Well, there it is. I mean, you know, obviously the Garibay we see right now is the mask, and the seething hate monster is the real him.
Yeah.
3 types of people in life. You will encounter muggles.
Now he's introducing Harry Potter stuff.
Smurfs. And what's the one? And gremlins.
Gremlins, yeah. Don't feed them after midnight, please. Don't get them wet.
Do Grumpkins fall in there, or is that too much?
Gremlins. That's a good one. That's an official mouse dropping.
There you go. That was the first one.
I
had. Someone else had a mouse dropping for me.
You will encounter fools, muggles, and philosopher kings, right? Gary Gygax was a philosopher king. Every word that came out of his mouth when he was alive, no one could ignore it.
He just drove by a KFC. He's there picking up a DoorDash. There is an actual KFC.
Based on what he decided to do. And he reshaped all of humanity, right? He completely redefined narrative. And he said, hey, I know, okay. And he's the only secular source in this world to have multiple lives, right? And he created the hollow ones.
What the hell is he doing? I just want to know physically, like, is he doing a K-turn or something? What the?
Did he really say that every word that Gygax said changed humanity?
Oh, yeah. He said that's his mantra. Yeah. Gary Gygax says has changed humanity. The new Christ.
Right? Hollow ones. Wait, isn't that a species in Dungeons and Dragons? It used to be.
It used to be.
I think the best definition of hollow ones are people who live their lives in this IRL world without Dungeons and Dragons.
Holy crap.
Let that sink in for a little bit.
Oh, man, dude, there's like a shit ton of life out there to enjoy. Oh my God. You have no concept. There's magic around every turn. Your eyes are closed.
Yeah.
What a sorrowful individual.
It's like I'm sorry that to me this is just endlessly amazing and funny.
It is amazing.
Just listening to the ramblings of a lunatic.
And end up leading one life, and never having adventure, and never being a hero, and never living with 100 mouths, with 100 hearts, never sharing victory and triumph with people around a table. They live one life. Could you imagine? Like,
didn't he say in a different video that Dungeons and Dragons is not about adventuring; it's about transcendence?
Yes, he did. Yeah, one of the earliest.
Dude, you're a hypocrite. Come on, man.
Oh, which is it? Is it about the physical?
Watch your own videos, dude.
The physical.
How did he get the KFC in his car?
He didn't.
I was trying to figure out physically because he he didn't pull over on that side of the street where the KFC was. He pulled over on the opposite side, but then he started to like back up. Like, I mean, it looked like he was maybe doing a K-turn or something.
Living one and only one life. It is truly astounding to even think of the sorrow that would bring. And what's truly sad is many of them don't even know it. They don't even know that, you know, that there are people, Dungeons and Dragons players, who live 100 lives while they're on this earth, and they just get one. They jump.
Oh, well, I mean, what can you say? Jonas Salk, I guess it sucks to be you.
Wow.
You weren't a gnome illusionist in Scott's campaign. You just have to settle for the polio vaccine. Jeez. These poor unfortunates.
So perfect. Does that mean the 3 wise men were coming to catch a game and not see the baby Jesus?
The earliest gamers.
Here, better. Hey, better.
The fuck?
Else get one, and they are to be pitied and wept over every day for those of us who understand the joy of this IRL just being one of our lives, one of the sets of emotions we have, the sets of memories we have, the sets of sensations we have, right? Like if there's if I have a sad day, I can stand on the harbor dock at Waterdeep and watch the ships come in and out.
I thought he was talking about in real life.
That forklift looks like it's going right into his head.
It missed. Oh man.
I can think about driving my car off of the dock.
So he is now at a construction site.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, he went by some like
those fence posts.
Those fence like that. Yeah, that wall. That they look like a industrial wall.
Well, if he's close to KFC, they could put a Taco Bell close by.
And eat some mutton and sip from my mead. Like
mutton and mead.
I'm not stuck in one world. And can you imagine the sorrow, hollow ones who are? It's truly sad making. So you have this situation.
He's supposed to be a born again Christian. I mean, he's supposed to be saying like, your life is empty without the love of Christ.
Yeah.
Like instead he's saying like this perversion that your life is hollow if you don't play D&D.
He is acting quite the heretic, isn't he?
Yes.
I think he's a time traveler. Like he's now out of a construction site, and is that a house right there?
Yeah, it is.
Who's got a forklift in the front yard?
He's got a turret. Somehow Garibay got himself a TARDIS. He's Doctor Who.
He's probably actually riding around his own property that's just filled with mock-ups of KFC,
like cardboard cutouts.
Yeah,
like the Truman Show.
Yeah, like a film lot. He's just, and honestly, it's all, it's all paint and plexiglass and.
Boy, that's a thought, isn't it? The Truman Show, the Garibay Show, whatever. Mm-hmm. We put this guy in a fake world, and this is what we came up with.
Right, and it makes me brutally sad to just think of that. But let's talk. Okay, so basically, every time you hear the word MacGuffin, what they're saying is they're like, oh, whatever.
He's finally circling back to his point from like 5 minutes ago.
Circling back. You know what makes him? I'll tell you what. Him driving in a circle is what's refreshing his memory and makes him go back to a certain topic. Mm-hmm. Oh, there's this house again. I was talking about this when I drove by the first time, and it's like,
well, what we don't see is the little signs with note cards as he's driving. He gets like every 25 feet, like he's got a note there to tell him about his conversation he wants to have.
Don wants to know when does The Rock show up?
Yeah. We're wondering that ourselves, Don. I don't know.
Whatever the item is that the heroes need to get, who cares, right? No one who ever listened to a word Gary Gygax would ever use the word MacGuffin, right? And the reason why was the adventure is the thing, right? What we seek defines who we are. And no dungeon master ever sends somebody after something that doesn't matter, right? Now, how is this done in the way that Gary encouraged us to do it? How is this
We'd
done
be hammered.
correctly?
Yes,
Right?
we would be so
How do
drunk.
we create a key item in our campaign that matters, right? That is worthy of every player character
Oh,
pursuing.
must be
Let's get
at their
into it,
house.
all right?
He's going to deliver
Let's
their
talk
food
about it.
finally.
Disney's Jungle Cruise shows it perfectly, right? In Jungle Cruise, 3 different people are pursuing the key item of the quest. That item is the Tears of the Moon, okay? A single petal from this flower called the Tears of the Moon can do 3 things, right? It can give power, incredible amount of power.
Guy's just watching out his window, like, honey, I think our dinner's out there. The driver's here, but he won't get out of the car.
Right?
He's out there arguing with himself again.
Yeah, oh, is it that same guy? I could just hear her from the other room, like, oh, it's that same guy. It's that crazy white guy.
They promised they wouldn't send him again.
I thought I banned
It
him.
has to do with it gives power over life and death. Okay, it can give one person or many people power over their life and over their death. Right? Essentially, it's like, think about the fountain of youth. Right? It can make someone young. It can keep someone young. It can also advance age. Right?
Uh-oh. Is he about to go picking?
Going for the nose.
I was just stopped because I was trying to put that in, like, it keeps you young, but it advances age. I don't think that's how it works, Scott.
So it can make age a dot.
Yeah, he's pretty. I bet he's pretty good at that. I bet he got one. Let's see if he goes to the mouth.
Right, and it can make sure that you never age. It can make sure that you age quickly. It can change the structure of life itself. Right. So 3 people in the movie are looking for the Tears of the Moon for 3 different reasons. The first 2 are fairly common in narrative. Right. The scientist, played by Emily Blunt, wants to find the Tears of the Moon to use it within science and then elongate life for all of humanity, right? Or to allow people who might have some kind of an aging disease to be freed from that, right? And not only when this thing gives eternal youth, it fixes every single disease in the body, right? And it sets the human body to a perfect state. So she wants to use it to free people from disease. She wants to use it to free certain people from age.
Hey, did you guys see this movie?
I did not.
Jungle Cruise? I don't know.
I know. No,
it's not relatively old. I think it's.
It's within the last 5 or.
I remember seeing
10 years, right?
Yeah, like a trailer or something at one point. I thought I went, like back in the old days, direct to DVD. I like direct to streaming, but I don't know. I mean, did it?
Yeah, the Rock hasn't had very good.
Chat, can you help us out? When did this movie come out?
Yeah, when did it come out? The Rock's not been in very, very many good movies. He kind of just does these kind of unforgettable movies where he's essentially just The Rock. And
I have to say, though, what's the one that he played the football player and he had the daughter that showed up?
The Tooth Fairy?
No. I think it was before that. He had a daughter he didn't know about, and she shows up.
I'm not sure.
Turns his life upside down. I am. The kids and I enjoyed watching that one.
Yeah, I'm not saying they're not enjoyable. I'm just saying he's not like a heavy hitter.
Whoa, no, not
Muppet
anymore.
says this thing's like recent.
2021. Geez, that's soon, huh? Yikes! Well, I didn't realize it was this deep. Thought it was a movie based on a pretty low tier ride at the Magic Kingdom.
The movie's not supposed to entertain you. It's supposed to help transcend you.
That's right. All right. Well, let's bring it home here. Come on, Scotty.
Aging, right? She wants this thing to be used powerfully to aid humanity. The German royal. Okay, this takes place in 1960, and this is a German royal, right? And it's played by Jesse Plemons. He wants it for power, right? Like if
Jesse
he has
Plemons.
this incredibly powerful.
Isn't that Todd from Breaking Bad?
Is it? I don't know. Help us out. You're on the clock, chat. You're probably right. The
red-haired psycho.
Yeah. The
item. He can make it so that only the people he wants to get eternal life can get eternal life. Only the people he wants to have a perfect body can have a perfect body.
Yeah, Vector
right?
just chimed
So
in
he
as
wants
well.
it for power.
Thank you, Vector. Thank you,
Scientist wants it
Rogan.
to aid. The German royal, the villain, wants it for power. And then last, there's this truly neutral character, right? There's this character who has done terrible things in the past. He was a conquistador, right? And what he wants it for is he is now cursed with immortality, and he wants it to kill himself, right? To self-delete, right? He wants this thing so that he can die a natural death, right? He wants it so he can die, not so he can kill himself. I said that incorrectly. He wants this to.
Copenheiser's giving out some Scorsese advice here. Write the script before making the movie.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. As a YouTuber, Scott. Yeah, it never hurts. At least put some bullet points up there. Because you are off the rails a little bit here.
Don't start with the hot sauce. Start with the taco.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got a Charlotte sighting.
Charlotte.
Hi, Charlotte.
Hi. How you doing, Charlotte? Actually, I was doing a paint stream. I painted up one of the Neckbeardia miniatures.
I saw that on your channel.
Yeah. And one of the other queen, Katie did popped in, just said hello. So yeah, so hello. We appreciate our queens. KWEENS. They are.
Be so that he can die. He wants it so he can die.
Oh,
Charlotte, to recap, he picked up someone's Taco Bell, or I'm sorry, KFC, and has not delivered it yet. He's actually in front of their house.
In their driveway.
And they are staring out the window, wondering where their food is.
And he is explaining in exquisite detail about the ins and outs of the Jungle Cruise movie. What the fuck?
The German royal wants it for power, and the riverboat captain, who used to be a conquistador, the immortal riverboat captain, who is played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
He had to figure that one. You had to think about that. Played by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
He wants it to die, right? This is the correct positioning of a key item in a quest. Right? 3 different people, good, neutral, and evil, could all want that item for different reasons, right? It's an incredibly beautiful, incredibly complex narrative mechanic, right? Narrative dial that can be turned. It's almost like a set of switches, a configuration that you...
Which is fine, but you need to have an evil...
Oh, yes.
A good and a neutral going after it, I suppose, in your campaign. Now, I suppose you could have the villain be the evil guy going after. I'm trying to get into his brain here. I don't know how good of an idea that is.
Right.
But all right. Maybe dare we say, is he making a point here?
He made a point last time. It took him a perfect tangent is counting the cars, and it's 7 that have gone by.
Thank you.
But last time he was rambling on about men cutting relationships just off rather than.
Yes, I remember that was a particularly dark one.
It did. Yeah. That was the murder one, wasn't it?
I believe so. Yeah.
So he gets to a point, but unfortunately it takes 10 minutes on the dot right now to get to it. And that loses his audience.
Yeah. Well, his
videos should be a lot shorter.
Yes, his truths come from a very, very dark place.
Yeah, they definitely do. Yeah. He drags it through the mud before he brings it up and tries to make a point out of it. And Crazy Mouse, you have a point too. And YouTube, you gotta. You got to be a little bit of P.T. Barnum if you can. I mean, as much as you can. You want to try to make your best point within the first couple minutes of a video, because you can see I can see it too, the metrics. Everybody's up here at the start, and then this is the time that they spend watching it, and then it drastically dips down. Like most of your audience, 2/3 is gone by the first maybe 20 seconds.
So he's making his point 10 minutes into an 11-minute video.
Yeah. Yeah, there's better ways you could structure something like this.
Which goes back to that comment about write your script before you make your movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you could say, like, guys, I have a tip for you DMs that you're not going to want to miss. You got to stick around to the end. It involves the perfect triangle of chaos, order, and neutrality, centered around a MacGuffin.
I call this my Dorito theory.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No charge for that, Scott.
Perfect triangle.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect. I am making an assumption that he will make a point.
So I do see kind of what he's getting at. He's using an odd kind of a reference, but okay.
But honestly, he's regurgitating what media has been offering us for 50 years.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah, it's not essentially a novel point, but he, all right, if nothing's new under the sun, so if you just want to figure out a better way to package something, I'm with you, but he does it with his own in his own particular idiom, I guess.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Can use, right? And this is what you want. You want to reject any fool who ever gets in front of you and uses the term MacGuffin, right?
No, that's not the point, Scott. The point is to have, to structure things in a way where, you have this people pulling in different directions.
I thought
he finds a point and then he loses it.
I thought the point was the rock.
It's like, what? So he's like, he can't help himself but be vindictive, and that's like he actually, you heard me, that was organic. I haven't seen this video. I'm trying to think through, like, okay, I can kind of see where he's coming from, and then he devolves back into this,
right? And this is what you want. You want to reject any fool who ever gets in front of you and uses the term MacGuffin, right? You never craft a story with a MacGuffin. You choose carefully an item which has facets and could be desired by the three alignments Gary carefully put into the game. And so every single one of your key items that are the center of your campaign, that are going to be pursued by the heroes, that are going to be pursued by the villains, and are going to be pursued by the neutrals, they should all want it for different reasons. And that means you cannot make it a MacGuffin. It cannot be a Maltese Falcon. It has to be real, it has to matter, and it has to be worth pursuing. And we, what is the word for us? We're not hollow ones, right? I don't even think there's a word for a dungeon master and a Dungeons and Dragons player yet.
There is. It's a player character and a dungeon master. We got that covered.
I'm also confused. Is he saying this movie is great or crappy?
I think he's praising it by the way it was structured. I would have to say.
I think he liked this movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He liked the structure of it, which is fine. But I'll tell you what, I give him. There's only 15 seconds. Let's let him finish up.
Capture who and what we are, but we know what we seek defines who we are. Every single word of that is my humble opinion. What's important is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing.
Yo, Garibay, give me my fucking food. Okay. Holds it off right there. I'm sick of you.
God damn it. Is there any other dashers out there today?
Why do I get stuck with this guy all the time?
He scared all the other dashers away.
Yeah, I didn't. He confuses the point again at the end. Like, I don't know. Making this hollow people, or I don't know. It's just so stupid. But the thing is, to do a game like that, it would have to be incredibly like railroady. Like the DM is just like, oh, guess what, guys? You will find this not MacGuffin. Good Lord, I'd be a hollow person if I said that. But you are going to go ahead and find this thing, whether you like it or not, instead of having your players go, hey, we don't want to find this. Fuck it.
Antonio, is that true? Did you see the movie? I heard of it, never saw it.
Oh, so it's another one with girl power. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, it's Disney. So
Emily Blunt. Which one is that one? Is that the one that's married to Jim from The Office?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. What'd you guys think? I said, he couldn't help himself being a little bit incendiary, talking about people who don't play D&D as hollow people.
I don't even know what to say. Okay, he's a cornucopia. It's never. It doesn't end. It just doesn't end.
It's weird.
Bruno says he delivers cold food every day for a good reason. These live shows.
Right. That's right. He's serving us. Pivot to one other news thing. I wanted to get Paul on earlier, and there was one other news thing I did want to talk about real quick. Okay. This came across actually my Twitter feed. Excuse me. Crisis management expert slams companies that take bold stands. I thought this was interesting given what's going on with Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light, and now Target.
What happened with Target?
All right, so it's Pride Month. Okay, and Target
that starts tomorrow. June 1st.
Yeah, they're getting ready for it, and it's fine. They used to kind of just have a section, in the back of their stores. And, it's like, oh, here's our Pride stuff. And I don't think people had much of a problem with it. It's like, well, okay. But now they amped it up to about 15. And what's happening more and more is that just normal, like, gay and lesbian people are kind of getting lumped in with these trans lunatics. So Target was also advertising like, oh, here's a swimsuit and it has a tuck area. So these weirdos can like tuck their what inside of a female's bathing suit.
Are you shitting me?
No, I'm not. I'm not.
I'm baffled by that.
Yeah. So and there was a lot of pushback, and people were like, damn it, they walk in and it's literally like the first thing you see. It's not kind of back in the whatever area. It's like front and center. And it's like, and I think what's happening too is a lot of gay people are like starting to realize like, all right, the T in our alphabet is really like it's an albatross now. Yeah. It stands for toxic. It's like dragging us down. And they're just lunatic.
When I worked at a grocery store, I worked at this grocery store, a big one, and there was some gay guys that worked in our department, and one of them's a performer in drag. And we went to one of his shows, and Double D, you came to it as well.
Yes. Yeah, that was
and they loved
10 years ago. Right?
Oh, yeah, it was a while ago. And they loved Pride Month. Now, I don't work at that grocery store anymore. I don't see those guys as much. I wonder how they feel about Pride Month now.
Yeah, because it's definitely like, there's a lot more attached to it than it used to.
And I mean, this, like you said, this was easily 10 years ago.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, they were, it was
those drag shows used to just be like, oh, look, it's a couple of gay guys, dressed up, having fun.
And it was and I mean, they really dig the parade and everything like that. And I wonder how they feel about it now.
I think a lot of them, at least online, are getting a little tired, because they're kind of being lumped in with these
right.
Trans people. Like some of these trans people, I'm not saying all of them, some of them are not, they're, well, a lot of them aren't mentally, but some of them are borderline, like criminal. So you got accounts on Twitter, like gays against groomers, because they're like, hey, don't put us with these people. Well, here's the article. So I just figured I'd put it out there for you guys. The battle lines and the culture wars aren't necessarily restricted to street protests, voting use, or internet social media platforms. Increasingly, U.S. businesses are taking robust positions on hot button issues that, if not mishandled, can devastate their bottom line. Taking Anheuser-Busch, InBev, 25% drop in Bud Light sales in the week ending May 13th. That is a huge drop compared to the same period last year. Sales decline resulted from, as we know, backlash to them partnering with Dylan Mulvaney, trans influencer,
who they now have dumped.
Oh yeah. But the damage is done. I mean, can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. In the words of a key company marketing executive, they wanted to get away from Bud Light's fratty, out of touch image. Well, that was their problem, is they hired this key company marketing executive who was a bad actor. The market value of Anheuser-Busch has fallen by $15.7 billion from April 1st. Wall Street analysts are souring on the company's stock. So that's going to be more future pain, which has fallen by almost 15% in the past 30 days. That's a lot. Then there's Target. The big box retailer is reeling after wading into the culture wars with an apparel line that was introduced as part of Pride Month. It immediately drew criticism from some conservative consumers. And don't lie here, Capital Journal, from a lot of people in the gay community as well. Within days, Target was forced to remove some of the apparel from company floor spaces after the company said the aggressive response from customers objecting to the product line has resulted in safety issues for employees. Why don't you tell us what some of that apparel was? Tell us it was a woman's bathing suit with a tuck area for a guy to put his wang. Given these volatile circumstances, we're making adjustments to our plans, including removing items that have been at the center of the most significant confrontational behavior. I'm sure there has been stuff out there, people just kind of pulling stuff over. They make it seem like, people are going in there, like it's Jussie Smollett, like, hey, this is MAGA country, and, doing stuff like that.
So, and then it says Target stock has dropped
9.1% in 5 days. That is a lot as the company seeks to avoid further PR damage. Well, damage done. Now business crisis consultants are weighing in on the high price a company can pay if they take a stance on a social issue. This is what we're all trying to say. Stop trying to take these stances without considering how its customer base will react. One of the things you have to understand about a company is they want everyone to love them. Well, not nowadays. That's Eric Diesenhall, CEO of Diesenhall Resources, crisis management consulting company. But now they're in the politics business where you don't get everybody. You just get 50% at most. And he must have been on Squawk Box on May 25th. He alluded to personal agendas inside companies that, left unaddressed, can result in negative publicity from both sides of the political aisle. Bingo. It's these personal agendas, like Bud Light hired this woman to redo, Anheuser-Busch hired this woman, to the marketing for Bud Light. They didn't, the writing would have been on the wall. It would have been so plain what kind of a person she was. If somebody had just ventured into her social media history, it's plain to see what she was going to do.
I think that, going back to the executives of Anheuser-Busch, at some point, somebody along the line saw what this person was offering. Hey, I got this great idea. I think we should go in this direction. Honestly, Anheuser-Busch, they've been busting out the beer, and there's a slice of America or a slice of life that gravitates to that, the NASCAR people and what have you. And it it's made them billions of dollars.
Well, she tried to convince them, like, that's not your audience anymore.
But let's cater to this 1%.
Right, exactly. Yeah, this 1/10 of 1% of people.
You just can't. You just can't.
Excuse me. Which the irony would be is when they dumped Dylan Mulvaney, did they now offend the 1/10 of 1% for not backing someone with their own mindset?
Yeah, of course. You will always offend those people. They are fickle. They don't really financially support you in the end. So, why you get into bed with them?
Someone in the comments has been mentioning that the tuck suit, there was also one for kids.
Oh yeah, I had heard that. Yeah,
that's what Nick said. I don't know if it's true, but Nick just commented.
I had heard that. I don't know if it's true, so I won't say like, hey, it's true. But yeah, that's true.
Our family also said Target's products geared towards children on this were what made people mad.
There you go. Yeah, if that's true, then yeah.
And then down here, Torah also.
Tuck suit for kids. All right. So so my audience is smart. I'm going to say that's true. And it's disgusting. So they're deserving of the backlash they're getting. This is a key point here. I thought this was very, very insightful. In the interview, this crisis management expert said, it's a myth the market is driving woke policies. He says a small number of people in advertising and marketing departments are generating personal agendas and are going to management and positioning their personal views, while emphasizing those views are what's good for the company, Diesenhall noted. Yet most marketing people are treading lightly and not having these problems. But the ones that are, this is exactly what's happening. And you know what? Upper management is, who I guarantee you is probably old white guys terrified of being canceled. So they're like, well, yeah, let's do this. They must know what they're doing. The diversity, equity, and inclusion, or I'm sorry, diversity, inclusion, and equity, the DI people at your corporation. Yeah, and that is exactly what they stand for and what they will do to it eventually.
This reminds me of two drunk teenagers playing with the gun, trying to shoot the can off each other's head.
Yeah,
it really is. Like, I got a great idea. No, it'd be great. No, I can do this. No, just stand still. This is going to be freaking awesome. Yep. Dave, get up. Dave. Oh, shit.
Dave's dead. Additionally, some companies can go ahead and take moral stands because that's what their customers want, but most businesses can't. Nike can take controversial positions because that's their audience, he noted. But most companies shouldn't provoke a large portion of their customer base like Anheuser-Busch and Target have done. Exactly. Finally, somebody talking sense.
Yeah, you don't poop on your customers. Don't ever.
And here's another thing, too. Diesenhall also told Squawk Box that some of the social positions taken by companies aren't just ticking off the usual suspects these days. Some moderates, and let's be fair, more than a few liberals, too, are whispering in people's ears, old school liberals, that they're having problems with companies, too, he added. But nobody wants to go on CNBC and tell you why exactly. So it's only people that are not afraid of being canceled anymore that will do this. And say this kind of stuff. But yeah, it's poison. These people are poison. Don't ever hire. If you're ever in a position, don't ever hire an SJW ever. Look at their social. It's very easy to suss out their social media. I mean, it's a very simple search. You know what? If just do what I do for a lot of my videos. Just type in white and dude and see if they've ever used those two words together. If they have, none of these people have ever used the term white dude in a gentle or a funny way. It's always to demean, and promote nothing but hatred for them.
Nick says there's a free case of Bud Light for every tuck suit you buy.
Yeah, there you go. They honestly, if they're looking to get rid of this stuff, they should probably just lean into it and be like,
something happened with Bud Light. I believe that they had a bunch of bars and taverns or whatever had to return their Bud Light because the expiration dates were coming up because people stopped buying them at bars.
Yep.
So that was affecting their business. And also they lost a sponsorship at some sporting event. I don't know what it
was. It NASCAR?
I honestly don't know. And like they canceled their order. So
yeah, it's a shame. There's a good point I think I saw, but yeah, here it is. Yeah, socialism seeks nothing less than the destruction of the West. Yeah, it is, of course. Pull us down and be equal. We'll be equal. Equity. That's what equity is. We can all be like Venezuela, where you're eating out of the dumpster. You got to worry about your kids being kidnapped.
See, I don't even look at
equity.
I don't look at this as them trying to make things equal. They're using the equal as an excuse. Equal is a bullet in their gun.
Well, make no mistake. I mean, they want people brung low. These people do despise the middle class. I mean, the rich they would just kill if they could, but the middle class, they know that they can't kill, so they just want the middle class cut down a peg or two or 10, because they hate people that work. They hate people that are just kind of patriotic and just want to do their thing and not be bothered, with this kind of stuff. The worst person in the world is a modern day leftist. Yep. Not much else to say about that. Do you guys want to? 1 second here. Do you guys want to look at this a little bit more?
Listen to.
We did this a little last week, Remember our friends?
Regrettably.
Yeah.
Well, we can do a little bit, but don't forget we got
we got to do.
we got some LARPing to do.
We'll do this
tonight.
about 15. Yeah.
In
Yeah,
the,
then we'll do
battlefield
Rogan's
behind you,
roles
or in the arena behind you. You can see glimpses of it from where you are.
Oh
in
yeah,
kind
the
of like this
Rosario
armory
Dawson
/ gym room.
And
As the tiefling is pulled away,
Mariska Hargitay. Oh
you
yeah,
see
I forgot
a
about
small
her.
goblin approach you all. He's stoop-shouldered, and he has mutton chops and a presence that comes off him and waves from his bristly ponytail down to his lacquered red hobnail boots. His widow peak points at you in an accusing fashion as he raises one manicured brow and appraises you, Layla. You recognize him as Olin Munn, the armorer and sort of...
Remember they had the Asian woman doing the laundry last time.
Let's play with adjectives.
As like the equipment inspector here.
Olin, good day to you.
Oh, what's this then?
Oh, 2 new contestants, Lenore and Econ.
Yes, Econ.
So you're gonna try to make it past the pools then?
I plan to make it past the pools.
I think, you know what?
That's right. They're in a game, right? Like a hunger game thing.
Type thing, yeah. And then one girl didn't want to put on gloves, but she wanted to put on a glove. Listen, girl, I need you to put on this glove.
Put on the fucking glove. The audience is watching. Chop, chop.
Surly wants to know if anybody found anything interesting about the blonde.
She does not have an OnlyFans.
No, she does not. Okay.
If that's interesting.
Oh,
that was what we thought.
That was key. Let's face it. We were all wondering it, right? I mean, I'm glad we got that cleared up.
Yes.
Herring, I think you might be able to do it. He pops a monocle in his eye and like kind of looks you up and down. And he like kind of like slaps a hand on your arms. What, do you need any repairs before you go in?
No, I don't have any repairs. I'm ready.
It's a surprise ending. The Asian woman has an OnlyFans. It's like, what?
I was thinking that.
Go
I'm
on
on
as
now.
soon as you're ready to have me.
Oh.
I finally made it. I've been waiting for this moment.
I can tell. It looks like you've been hitting the gym a bit.
In real life and in game life.
Don't hit Jim. He's nice.
Looks like you've been in the gym a bit. Doing your squats. Very D&D, man. That's
Antonio says that maybe she's an only feet. Because people have been selling their feet pictures.
That is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I should do mine, maybe. My legs could pass for a woman's.
Throw that shit up there. More of the retirement plan is underway.
There you go. Yeah. Only feet. All right. It is noted. Geisha fans.
In a past life.
Yeah. The competition's
one,
a
Nick.
bit stiff this year. I mean, you would know. We've got some big contenders. You know, there's a broad back there that's got an elephant. We have an elephant this year. Yeah. I think the crowd's gonna.
We'll go give her a little bit of the in out, if you know what I mean.
There's a broad back there.
I think so.
That broad, didn't she?
Yeah, I
I hate that word.
There's a broad back there. Gonna give her a little bit of the what.
I love it. This might be one of our best competitions yet. If you don't get smashed into little giblets, great way to make a name for yourself.
Oh, stop frightening them. And it's
I
not
mean-
like there's not always a chance of dying.
Only traps, Charlotte. 'Cause why not at this point?
That blonde just has a confused look on her face this whole time.
I get a feeling she has that look a lot of times.
It's amazing how some people can bounce around in life and not show any of the bruises.
It's perfectly safe.
I'm not frightened. Giblets are delicious.
That they are. That they are. Do we have a helmet for her?
That they are. That they are.
Excuse me, sir. Can I have some more, please?
More, please.
Food, glorious food.
God bless us, everyone. I was Tiny Tim in our school play when I was a youngster.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Oh man, I was in Oliver Twist. I was one of Fagin's thugs, I think.
I was making
Or artful Dodgers.
I always thought about like a personal resume, not like a work resume, but like a personal resume,
life resume.
Yeah, like I would put my Tiny Tim on there.
Yeah,
It's a resume enhancer, I think. Yeah, I'm good with that. I can see like, whoa, I see. Tiny Tim.
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's see. You got the job.
And also,
talk salary.
I'd like to return this punt, please. That cracked me up so much.
Yeah, leave it to these guys. They are good.
Let's maybe see if we can get you armored up a bit. You're looking a bit, and he like starts to like pull small hammers and like tinkering tools from his belt, and like kind of taps on your armor.
Like Schneider.
Exactly. Hey, Miss Romano.
Hey, Miss Romano.
And like looks you up and down and does like a cursory inspection. He's like, yeah, you're gonna want to get that sharpened, and points at like the mace hanging at your belt.
Okay.
Yeah, you're gonna want to get that sharpened. Go ahead and hand that over to me. And yeah, let's see. Do we? I don't know if we have something that'll fit you. I'm sure we do. Layla, do you think we've got something that'll fit her?
Oh, of course.
You're gonna want a helmet.
You're
You know.
just about my size. Maybe you can use some of my old things. They're in very good condition now.
That's very generous of you. I would imagine they're in very good condition if you don't get a chance to try and win a better life for yourself.
I like my life here.
Folding shirts.
I like folding shirts. One day I'm going to move up to the Gap, ye old Gap, fold some shirts and pants there. And
Crafty Matt wants to know what we're doing.
Crafty Matt. This is, I can't remember the name of it. What is it? It's a D&D, an official D&D live, Battle for Beyond, episode 1. Not Battle Beyond the Stars.
We watched a little, Crafty Matt, we watched a little bit last week. We've been watching about like 10 minutes at a time.
Chipping
or
our way
something.
at it. So there's a D&D version of the Hunger Games, and the Asian woman up top was the maid who was folding laundry, and then I guess she's gotten talked into joining the games, right? Is that correct?
Sounds like she's in charge of recruiting people or something.
Yeah.
Recruiting people? I don't know.
She wants to get those sales in. She's got a lot of shirts, a lot of clothes to wash. Let's get some more in there.
And the blonde last week in her intro, she made it seem like she was a lot more salacious than she actually was. We thought she might have been an OF girl, but
she talked about all this stuff she's done on the internet, and no one can find it.
But she did it with like a gleam in her eye.
Yeah, like she was proud of all this.
It was rather suggestive.
It was a salacious grin, I think it could be termed, right?
And the actor on the bottom is like a comedian.
Yeah,
in
maybe.
real life, maybe.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, he's been okay.
These three
I
have
guess.
been recruited by this Rosario Dawson's sister.
Yeah, she's the DM.
She is the
It's
DM.
okay. I mean,
but you're
High production value. Whenever somebody's talking, they'll change the picture in the bottom left.
serving a master who therefore naturally believes that they are somehow superior to you.
well, they are though. They're very powerful.
I'm right.
I mean, it's.
Duh.
I'm here to serve, and there is great pleasure in that, in knowing what my role is, and to be.
Comfort girl. She's a comfort girl.
If she wasn't here, she'd be working on the railroads.
Yep. Comedy is dead, Surly. Not in here, fella. Not in here.
Able to help others and learn a ton.
Yes. I totally do not understand. I see what...
White women be crazy.
BBC. Bitches be crazy.
Bitches be crazy. Yes, BBC.
All of them.
I come from, it is all about holding power. And if there is someone who tries to hold power above you, you kill him. And then...
What?
Jiminy Christmas.
Dang.
You bosses out there better
Yeah.
start wearing a bulletproof vest to work.
That way, you have the power. And if you die, you serve no one because you are dead.
Yes, I feel the same way.
Ma'am, aren't you a cleric?
Yes, but
Isn't that basically the same thing?
want to help everybody that is in need, and no one should be denied help just because there's another that believes that they are greater than them.
That's true. That's true.
I go and
That's true. That's
That's true. That wasn't part of the script.
Yeah, she's just yeah.
Juan totally ad-libbed that.
she's freestyling.
Hold on there, Double D.
Good time to stop. Our friend Jeff Hatch. Thank you so much, my friend. $5 super chat. My 13-year-old son is a better player than these they thems. He was singled out by Goodman Games as a great player. Oh no shit, really?
Congratulations.
Wow.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
Jeff living vicariously through his son.
There
We
you
all
go.
do.
There you go.
We all do a little
Yeah,
bit.
you've been outed, Jeff. No, that really is great.
That is really nice.
Yep. DCC, good system.
Thank you for sharing that, Jeff.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much for the super chat, my friend, for supporting the channel. Back to the show.
Oh, Antonio has just something he wants to say real quick. A little mouse dropping from Antonio.
All right. 1 second here. It's hard because I have a...
There's truth.
So
in
the only
those words.
black guy on the show is a criminal. The blonde is an idiot, and the Asian runs a laundry. Yeah, real culturally sensitive. Exactly. Yeah, I hadn't thought of the other two. Yeah, we just focused on the Asian, but it's like, yeah, the blonde dits, and the black guy is a criminal. Yeah. Well, what do you expect?
You hit the nail right on the head.
Yeah. It's right down the fairway there.
Yeah, perfect. Says same thing. Like we just.
Listen,
Yep.
the way you're saying things, like, I've met servants who are happy to be servants. Like, okay, cool. Can you get me a drink? But you, it seems like you are not quite happy here.
So the drink getting servants, they're okay because they're getting me a drink.
Right.
Yeah. The laundry folding servants, no man. I draw the line there. It's a sliding scale, I think. Hell.
And I understand if this is what you want to do. I don't want to hold it against you. But what I will say is you are mere inches from deciding your fate. And yes, you may not be powerful. I mean, all I've seen you do is fold some linens, but the chance, to take the chance, is what makes up.
Yeah, it reminds me, he's going on like Stern. Like I could see Stern making a speech like this because Stern has played these kind of Kanazi characters. Yeah, man. Cultural appropriation by Captain Stern.
Well, my folds are very crisp, but you're right.
My folds are crisp.
Perfect and crafty Matt both typed at the same time. Wakanda forever. Woke Conda forever.
Woke Conda forever. Yeah. My folds are tight.
Crisp.
Perhaps there is life outside of this, but to be honest, I don't really know much about life outside of here, and I don't know what I'd wish for or what I'd hope to gain by winning.
Well,
what do you two hope to gain?
She's making it very hard. You can tell, like, game-wise, they just want to get her out and like, all right, come on, you got to join us at some point. She's making it really hard for him. I mean, really hard.
I mean, everyone's done something or experienced something in their past that they wish they could change. So that's what I hope for, is to be able to undo something that I did a long, long time ago.
What did you do?
OnlyFans.
Oh, it was really
shameful, really.
You notice she gets very like.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh no,
I'm so sorry.
It's
I didn't
okay
mean
to
You can't
be
just ask people that, you know. You
curious.
can't just be like, oh, hey, what's your biggest regret in life, you know?
Well,
Yeah, you can ask him that. Truth or dare.
you know, if you're going into a big moment and, you know, you have to know that the stakes are worth it.
Trust me.
That the juice is
are.
worth the
The
squeeze.
stakes are always worth it. Yeah.
Everything in life is temporary. We're all going to die. The only thing that'll remain is our legends. Money? What is that? Nothing. The only way to be truly immortal is to be remembered.
Yes.
At least that's what we believe here on Polar Coat. A very strong culture. Layla understands it. But Layla is also just as good at folding linens as she is at folding fools that she will not suffer. She's being very modest right now.
Stop it!
Yeah, you know. Yeah. She's a little bit of a firecracker.
I do look very strong.
Aw.
Are they all flirting?
Yes. This is this brother is probably like, what is going on here? He's like, am I gonna
What's going on here?
Yeah. What the hell?
Let's roll some freaking
No, I like
dice.
you lot. So I'm going to.
Have they rolled a dice? Yeah.
No.
Once.
Oh yeah, that's right. They did do once last week.
I apologize.
Yeah.
You is solid. Because I like the cut of your jib. I like your moxie. I'm going to tell you that man over there is who you're slotted up against. And he points over to a dark corner of the room where you see a figure in a baby face mask. What flesh is visible is twisted and kind of mottled. Some of it looks like
Exactly,
it's been
Vector.
burned away or injured. It's like a walking scar, essentially. He wears a breastplate, and he has sort of a tank resting on the ground next to him. He has big metal boots and a long tattoo kind of going down his arm.
Missed that one,
of a
Jeff.
viper. He's polishing what looks to be a very large Bowie knife. And you see as his head turns and kind of at the mention of
Remember how much she talked at the beginning last time?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I mean, I guess she is allowing him to do a little bit of byplay, but man, she really loves to talk.
She's not guiding them into action. She's not you gotta
Yeah, she could just have an NPC go okay, whoever's going to be in the game, let's go, and then they'd point to the Asian woman, being like, "This is your last chance, honey. A life of servitude or glory. All right, I'll choose glory." But she's just letting him navel gaze.
of Olin, kind of pointing him out. When you look into the holes of the mask, you see nothing. You don't see eyes or a glint of any
Solomon,
light
the
at
answer to
all.
that is yes. The brunette is,
As he's pointed out,
is the DM.
He
Yep.
picks up his belongings, straps them to his back, and walks out silently. And behind him, out walks the individual referenced earlier. You see a beautiful war elephant painted in all types of sort of paisley and lotus flowers. She carries a giant flail over one shoulder that is gilded, and she wears a beautiful sari that comes down into beautiful curved embroidered shoes.
Oh my God.
She pushes past you roughly, kind of.
This is what passes for good DMing.
Vector's got something to say. He's got a little mouse dropping for you.
Oh boy. Real Vector, old friend, thank you so much. $10 super chat. Just a bit of scratch, but a consistent entertainment. That's what we aim for, Vector.
Thank you.
We try to be we try to treat your time valuable and give you a little bang for buck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stick around. Rogan is going to roll his stats for his new character, so you guys can be part of it. Be part of the process.
Yeah.
Yep. Very, very, very much appreciated, Vector and Jeff and everybody else who super chatted. Panther earlier. Thank you guys so much. It helps make it worthwhile. Faux show.
Making space for herself.
Excuse you?
She looks you up and down and says, "Excused."
Well, that wasn't very nice.
I'm not here to be nice. I'm here to win.
Well, you could at least show a little common courtesy in the process.
Roll
Before I kill you.
Yeah.
It's 24.
You see her kind of shift awkwardly.
Did she roll
for
a
a
dice or
moment,
did the
quiet.
computer roll the dice?
You just hear the clinking of her flail as this happens. And she's like, I feel like I have this persona to live up to.
I understand.
Yeah.
You want to make
a lot
an
of pressure.
impression, right, where you seem threatening.
No
but
action in this at
At the
all.
end of the day, even if we are all in mortal competition with one another, we're all people and we have hearts and feelings.
What the hell? What's going on? What is happening?
Oh my God.
Feelings.
Just a little longer, and then we will just go to Rogan's roll, and then let you go for the night.
So
I just want these guys to do something.
Yeah.
If you recall, the one we did a long time ago with Jeremy Crawford as the DM, nothing happened in that one either. We pecked away at that one for like.
Well, if you remember, the guy from the steakhouse, from Ruth Chris or wherever, which
Joe
one?
Manganiello, yeah.
He was getting frustrated because he tried to force the issue. If you remember,
yeah, it's like what you. I mean, man, maybe these players should be a little bit more like, okay, hey, I can't wait to get to this.
These
this
people
game.
they're not players though. They're actors. They're really honestly.
Yeah, that's
they're
true.
not players.
Yeah, this is what you get, but I mean, God, this is official D&D. This is the best they thought they could do. They're like, oh, let's this wordy DM who can read off a script. Good Lord, I mean, look at what Gavin did at the intro to that last live play. Like he had that shit memorized. This chick was reading off in her opener, her stunning opener. She was reading off a script.
I think you better apologize.
It's just.
I'm not going to do that. But, I shouldn't have bumped into you, Layla. These tusks are so huge, I can't get.
Microaggressions, the RPG. I shouldn't have done that. All right. I think I have had enough of this. It just does not go anywhere. I'll tell you, we'll zoom ahead a little bit. How's that?
Uh-oh.
Bitter losses and stuff. Something about making the decisions, right or wrong, good or bad.
So, how do you want to do this?
Oh, it's a commercial. Lord.
This show got canceled.
Sorry, guys, we got canceled mid-game.
And the air feels thick and humid.
She's still talking.
It feels like you've almost stepped into a sauna. When you look up,
the air is heavy. The hot press machine is going haywire.
There is no sky. There is no audience. There's nothing. You can hear them vaguely just beyond the reach of a almost viscous green fluid that has formed a dome over you. And you hear all of a sudden a voice, a very familiar voice of our favorite dwarf, Harpy. You see her face, very sort of like distorted from being reflected onto the dome, appear above you all. And as she does, she flicks her golden ponytail to one side and winks at you all with like one heavily eyeshadowed eye and says, well, let's get right into it. Today's contest is between, and she kind of waits for you to announce yourselves.
Okay, I've seen enough. No, I was watching some super fights of the 1980s, and as Roberto Duran said to Sugar Ray Leonard, no mas.
No mas.
No mas.
No mas. Rogan?
Uh-oh.
I want you to turn your camera on.
My camera on.
Your camera on. I think you can do that with the 3 dots, maybe. Is that possible?
Oh, aha.
Turn camera on is not an option.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. So maybe go back out, and then come back in. If that's possible. We will do your rolls. Like leave studio.
Wow.
Not an option. Okay. All right. I think your camera should be the one over the. So if you go in and test camera, it's usually off. But all right. So as you guys may have recalled from the beginning, Rogan's character passed away during the last live play session. You can see that. By the way, if you guys, is everything okay? You just go to the tab with the email and just re-click it. Okay, that's all. That's always there. So his character died, and he is going to roll his stats OSR 3-6 style. All right. Hold on 1 second here. Get you
on the bottom. Okay. Yep. He's all set.
All right. So this is for you. Have you thought of like a general direction you want to go?
I will play another fighter.
Another fighter. Okay.
We'll see what the dice have to say as well.
Okay.
We're ready?
All right, so we're doing this 6 times, of course, not in order. You can put these towards any that you want. What is the first stat of Rogan's new character? Drum roll, please. What is that?
One of them's in the light.
Yeah. What is that one? All right, so 7. That's not bad.
Meat thinks we're shooting craps. We are not shooting craps right now.
There's an extra dice in there. Move the dice to the center after you roll. Move all the dice to the center.
There we go.
There we go. Perfect. Yeah. That's not bad. That's a 9, right? In Castles and Crusades, that's like an average stat. We're hoping to get at least like 113 here. That's what we're really hoping. Another 9. That's halfway through, right? So we have a 9, 9.
There you go.
Oh, there you go.
12.
That's a 12. You can work with that. How many more?
2 more.
2 more.
There you go.
Oh, look at that. Bailed out. Yeah, with a 15. That is one of the higher stats that we have in Castles and Crusades. So you have a 15 and a 12.
Oh, Antonio, before you roll this, hold on. Yeah. Antonio's shouting out. What's the super chat amount for one reroll?
All right. I'll tell you what, if somebody wants to throw $5, we'll let them re-roll that 7.
Or to be determined.
Or to be determined, yeah. So why don't you go ahead and roll that last one? He's got his 2. That's an 8. So we have 7, 8, 2 9s, a 12, and a 15. Those are actually really good stats for Castles and Crusades.
Brian the Bunker says $10 for a reroll.
Oh, Lord, well, let's leave that up to you guys. You guys really want to inflict some pain, don't you? on
$5 right now, Rogan gets to reroll. Although for the $10, someone wants him to reroll the 15.
Oh man, yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
Our family says they still do 4-6 for Castles and Crusades. Would 4-6 mean drop the lowest one?
Yeah.
Or reroll the lowest one?
Reroll the lowest, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we kind of decided to go back, just kind of old school.
That was D&D.
That was D&D, yeah. We it obviously creates more heroic characters, but I think we need to kind of get back to the roots.
Holy cow, DM James.
Oh, James, how you doing, James? He's done it. Channel member James, and all around good egg James. Check check out his channel. He does great. He does great live streams himself. Just relaxing. Go there and hang out. All right.
Before Rogan rolls, are we substituting the 7 with this, or
it's whatever he rolls?
Okay, so the 7 is out and this is in.
All right.
So this could be a 3. You could be a turd.
You won't be.
I'll just put it in charisma.
His 7 is now a 14.
14. James, you're killing me.
DM, Dungeon Master
no
James.
more. No mas. No mas.
Thank you.
No mas.
Seriously, I greatly appreciate that.
So a 15, 14, 12, 2 9s and an 8. I'm just going off of that. Is that right?
It is, yeah.
It's not bad.
It's not bad, yeah.
No,
It's-
not
it's
at all.
pretty good,
I am.
actually. You'll be up.
I'm happy with this. Very happy with it. Thank you guys very much. Dungeon Master James again. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Powerful Sith you will become.
That was that doubled his 7. That's nice.
Now the 15 is going right to my charisma.
Good.
And my character's name is Greg.
Ooh, yeah. Now just remember, if you're in the front row, the front lines, you are always going to have a target on your back.
Absolutely. Every character I play is up front.
DM James, you just got a new subscriber.
Nice.
Don just subbed.
Oh yeah. If you're not subscribed to James, he's
What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? No, he's,
And I'm subscribing tonight, Dungeon Master James. Thank you.
Oh yeah.
This was the Rogan show today.
Bit.
We had Rogan Heavy, which was awesome. You got to roll.
Yep.
You got the comic book guy.
That dude was great.
Oh, he absolutely was.
Yeah. If you guys remember, don't forget Paul.
I'll throw his banner up there real quick.
Yeah,
fundmycomic.com. I think that's going to be a good Christmas present, maybe for Derek Mouse.
Yeah. Giant kaiju.
Yeah.
Giant monsters mixed with superheroes. I haven't quite seen that before. I've seen one or the other, but I don't know. I'm sure maybe somebody's done it, but I thought that was kind of an interesting thing.
I love the angle he was talking about, the kaiju, and then like that X-Men influence.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yep. Yeah, they
What's
do.
the point buy-in, guys?
Point buy is when you essentially buy your stats, so you get a more stable.
Like you got 50 points to split up amongst the
more or
six.
less. Yeah, each system is a little
What was
different.
it? What would it be? I just said 50. I don't know. What would it be?
It's been so long since we've done it. I'm not sure offhand. Chat, help us out.
Because that'd just be a bunch of 9s and 10 divided by 6.
It's not a straight point buy. It's like, to get like a 15 or higher takes an increasing number of points. Like to go from a 15 to a 16, you have to use a much greater allotment of your points. So you do have to sacrifice others for it.
Okay.
So it is a way to kind of balance things out. Like, okay, you can go kind of average all along the way, or have a couple of high stats, but you're going to have some low ones there too. So some people like it. I don't know. I like rolling. I like letting the dice and DM James determine what a character is going to be.
Charlotte said, if you don't know what direction take your character, recommend. I'm having trouble reading that.
Rolling the 3d6s in order. It can get you to play a character that you might not have considered before.
Oh yeah, that's one strategy to do.
Yeah, so that would take it like right down the sheet. That's a hard sell, Charlotte. These guys like to have a little bit of freedom, but one day I think one of you guys one day is going to be like, "Fuck it, I'm going to do it in order." Boom, boom, boom,
right.
And let the chips fall where they may. But I certainly don't blame them for wanting to have a little choice. If you have your heart set on playing maybe a character, but yeah, we will see. I guess you'll see at the live play that I'll be editing this weekend, and we'll drop probably Tuesday next week. I guess you'll get to see what Rogan's character is. So
how we slide him in.
Yep.
We're doing it live.
Do it live.
Okay, do it live. Do it live. Okay, 2 hours 20 minutes. Let's
Do you remember I'll let you sign us out, but do you remember our first one was only like 40?
Oh yeah. We, just feeling it out. I had no idea what I was doing.
Five listeners. We hit 5. We did a high five.
Huddled around the same mic.
We were on the same mic. My thing was I was just gonna watch. Double D said nope.
Kind of getting enthralled with this music here.
It's got a vibe to it.
This is Night Driving. We got to set Garibay's next video.
Would put you to sleep if you were night driving. Night driving to me, the ultimate night driving song is "In the Air Tonight." Crockett and Tubbs were driving across town listening to it. Crockett pulled over. They were going to go see Calderon.
Here's Feeding the Ducks. Chrissy Mayer, the YouTuber, female comedian. She's like, what does feeding the ducks mean? I think somebody determined that it's a code for masturbation.
Right.
This is Feeding the Ducks.
Hi, Surly. I'd like to return this punt.
The punt returner. How much would you take for this punt?
Charlotte must do. Charlotte, my question to you is do that for all your characters? Some of your favorite characters have been rolled in traditional 3d6. But then, to be devil's advocate, why are you constantly rolling up characters?
Uh-oh.
Because shit happens.
It does.
Shit happens.
She goes with it because she's a queen.
It's not about the adventure. It's about transcending.
Antonio.
That's right. It's about the
Antonio, I like this a lot. Punt the returner, king of the field of battle. I like that.
I like that.
Punt the returner. All right. I think we're... Charlotte is hardcore. Yeah, she is, Jeff. I didn't realize our queen was she was like Queen Cersei without the incest.
I choose ours.
Yes. I choose to roll my dice in order.
Oh, Charlotte, thank you for responding. Not all of them, but the ones that stick out have been rolled that way.
I can see that.
Absolutely.
Right.
If I ever found myself doing a D&D game on the other side, honestly, that is probably the way I might go.
And Charlotte, my apologies. I misunderstood, I guess, what you were saying. The ones that you remember the most are the ones that you did that way. I gotcha. Charlotte is hardcore. Holy cow.
Yep.
Jeff, you are correct.
Yeah, and Meat has a good point. Use up a lot of characters when they have those kind of sets. That's true. Yeah. Like I said, Rogan's character last one was a hard hitter too, but the catch-22 is you're always in the front row, so you're always taking a beating, from frontline hitters. So
right. There has to be some heavy hitters. That way, the other people can go in and do their thing.
Exactly. Yep. So you are like kind of like Jesus Christ. You are dying for their sins.
One of the earliest gamers.
Yes, one of the earliest gamers.
Yeah. One of these days, I do want to play a Perlone. I do. One of these days,
I'm gonna play a save ass.
I want it. He's always in the back. He's always talking a whole lot, and he's ready to run.
Maybe that's where, remember in the story in the Bible where Jesus, they were looking for him in the temple, they couldn't find him, but he was teaching the elders. Maybe he was gaming.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Rolling the bones.
Where is this Jesus?
Where's this Jesus? He's in the back. He's got some game with these knuckle bones. Hear me out. Alrighty. Of course, just as we're about to sign off, we're getting an influx of people. Look at who's here. Shark, how you doing, man? Bad prawn music. Shark. Yeah. I just discovered this, buddy. It's in the brand area of StreamYard. Here's some of the others. Acoustic, cinematic. Don't like that at all. Dance pop.
Nah.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
There you go. Antonio's saying it. Jesus disappeared for the whole middle part of his life. He was doing
That's
that.
right. Yeah, he was running an epic campaign. Daydreaming. Yeah, this is more like it. This is more like it. Dawn is another fan of 3-6 down the line.
What is the order? Strength.
Strength, dexterity, constitution,
Intelligence, wisdom, and charisma.
intelligence, wisdom, charisma.
Okay.
I think that's the
guessing.
order.
Oh, that was a guess. Okay. Sounds pretty. I know charisma's last, and I know strength's at the top.
Yeah, but I don't know if it depends by game, maybe. Or if there's a traditional. Is there a traditional order? That'll be the last thing we determine.
Well, I know with D&D, it's intelligence, wisdom, charisma. Or maybe I don't know.
Yeah, meets saying we always put. So maybe it's you kind of determine. Usually, it's the way that it's usually seen on the character sheet you're
All
using.
right. Dawn says pretty emphatically here.
Strength, intelligence, constitution. So we had that part right. Oh no, wait, we didn't because intelligence is second.
Well, wait,
Strength-
I don't know. Is charisma? I thought charisma was last, not wisdom.
On my character sheet, my three that I selected, you know, that the marks against it is strength, dex, and con in that order.
Jeff chimed in with this one.
Yeah, I'm getting the feeling that it's your usual like I don't want to say house roll, but it's it's up to the individual table. Random rolling stats are great. Yep. And can you play different kinds of characters? Even say with the same class type, you can play characters. They're different from stereotype. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, nothing wrong with that for sure. I'll try to get a hold of you this week, Shark.
People are saying Jeff is correct.
Jeff is correct.
And then I will say he's correct as well.
What's DM James say? Right now, that dude's freaking running our show.
Well, James would know the old school order. He's an old
Wait,
school.
Jeff says Jeff is also always correct.
Jeff is always correct.
Right, well, then there's a vote for Jeff.
This guy's like me. He's not empty in the self-esteem category. Strength, intelligence. I'm trying to see if there's like an acronym. There's really isn't though.
Never be afraid to vote for yourself.
That went over really well at our table. We do a player vote at the end of every session, and that person gets a chip. And it's usually after everyone's all cleaned up. Gavin hands out the poll, and this would have been like we were upstairs at the time when we were playing. So that's how long ago it was.
Long time.
Double D goes, it was unanimous. And I said, well, it can't be unanimous. And he goes, no, it is. And I'm like, what? And then he goes, Gavin's the winner. And I'm like, you fucking voted for yourself?
Instead of celebrating his victory as player MVP of the night, has now had to put up with probably 17 years of
Yes, he hears about it every Friday
of voting for yourself. And remember, people, you still can vote for yourself if you want. He rolls his eyes. He's like, don't ever do it. You'll never live it down. I guess he was really strong that night.
Well, he felt it, so
Yeah.
I mean, he voted how he felt.
All right, guys. Why don't we cut it off here? I will play you out with the outro. And thank you again for showing up as always in force.
I do want to thank Paul for coming on today.
Yeah.
He was a nice guy.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll see him. Like I said, I'm kind of in a private room with him on Twitter. I think he was very pleased that even if he got a couple of sales, couple of looks, I'm sure he was over
awesome.
the moon. So yeah, he's a good dude.
He's a sale down the road from me.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, check it out. It's in the description below. If it's your thing, then get it. If not, that's okay too. Might not be your thing. That's okay. But you are, like I said, helping helping a guy do his thing. So on his hustle. All right, guys. For my co-producer, Crazy Mouse, any last thing?
Nah, we're good. Have a great night, everyone. Great weekend.
Yep. Rogan?
I just hey, after we do these and everything's shut off, we talk a little bit about how it went, and then collectively every single time, it's always that realization that you guys are the greatest group. Honestly, you guys.
We have a great chat.
Honestly, yeah, I read these
We
and
do.
I pull back and I laugh. You guys are funny as hell. You guys are. You're hilarious and smart. And,
And I'm busy running the show, so a lot of time I can't follow it. But I do rewatch it usually for the most part, and I will follow the chat.
Rogan and myself, when we're constantly talking about the next day, like, oh, I rewatched our show or
Yes.
whatever, and I know that I'm a tough critic on myself. So there was a night maybe 2 months ago, I felt like I said yeah a lot, and I
remember that
to the both of them. I'm like, man, I gotta
said yeah
shut
too
up.
much. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So, but thank you guys.
If you ever see how many times you say it'll drive you crazy.
Mhm.
Like, I'm gonna say,
Yeah.
stop saying you freaking retard.
I'm gonna watch
But
my
it's-
stammering.
Yep.
But you guys are the best.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Thank
For
you.
sure.
Everyone
You guys
have a great
You guys
night.
help make the show.
Yep. You guys have a great rest of the night, great rest of the week. We will. Yep. Eric C. Yep. You guys know the drill. Wednesdays at 7. If you guys want to help things out, just spread the word. Just say, hey, there's this pretty good show on Wednesdays at 7.
Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
Let's get some more girls in here. Charlotte,
Yeah.
bring some of your
ladies.
crew.
Yeah.
Yep. Get
There's a
some
lot of women
ladies.
out there.
We'll get Katie to show up too. Okay. All right, guys. Love you. We'll talk soon. Take care. Yep. Mouse holds up the house. Yeah, that's the way to end it.
Hey, man, is that Double D? Yeah, man. Well, turn it up, man.
Let's just go in and like kill all the orcs, right? They're the bad guys. Who gives a shit? We just hack and slash and we loot their dead bodies, right? Hack and slash, kill them all. Conquer the infidels.
Boy, that campaign sounds like a barrel of fun, doesn't it?
Are you just a dream?
Double D.
A dream to some.
A nightmare to others.
Somebody who's opening a refrigerator and leaning in, right, is the language of a woman. Somebody who's opening their refrigerator and being cut off halfway through that lean is the voice of a mermaid or a siren, right?
Orcs are just like evil elves, right? And they were like made by like an evil god.
Honestly, guys like me can't leave soon enough.
We gotta put a little hot sauce on the taco, you know what I mean?
He is smart.
We want this dwarf to be the dwarfiest dwarf.
Right.
We want the elf to be the elfiest elf.
And just the dashiest dash of Tabasco.
Their voices need to carry across water.
I'm a creative. It's a huge drain, right? Because fans can be awful.
You're not in Transylvania anymore, Crystal. We don't talk vampire.
When you say white lives matter, they don't. White lives don't matter because white lives aren't a thing.
I disagree. I disagree, Gary.
Lutherville, Marina Del X, Otisburg. Otisburg?
Where's this monster? She's got her own place, Mr.
Otisburg?
It's a little bitty place.
Otisburg?
Okay, I just wipe it off. That's all. It's a little town.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
Great sandwich.
Thank you. I enjoyed having you here. You're a very good co-host.
Hey there, it's your boy Double D, and I want to tell you about a great offer from our friends over at Neckbeardia. That's right. We all love James and Megan, and I am happy to say they love us too. That's why they are offering a 10% discount on everything in their store just for my audience. If you haven't done so already, Check it out at the link in the description below. They work with a fantastic 3D artist to offer you miniatures with detail you have to see to believe. No need to print anything out. They will take care of that messy and smelly business on their end. All you need to do is pick out your next character or the next group of monsters your party is going to fight. They also have some pretty hilarious subclasses for you guys that are still playing 5th edition, all for less than a cup of coffee. They have adventures, Atomic Punk 2160 by the Basic Expert, t-shirts, and a lot more. Why not support people that don't hate you? Use the promo code DND10 for 10% off your order. And remember that shipping is free for orders over 50 pounds. That's just a little bit over $60 US. Visit them today and don't forget to use the promo code DND10.
What qualifies you to be a U.S. Senator? You have 60 seconds.
Hi, good night, everybody.